Welcome everybody to the Mayhem Summer Classic for 2022, presented by Zaxby's. We'll be bringing you the B-Stream coverage for today over on the BPL Twitch channel. I'm Toasty, I'll be joined by Jace, where you finally won't have to say your classic line.
Yes, finally. I think we've said this every other classic event, and obviously thank you so much to Florida for once again, the Florida Mayhem, for once again letting us be on this stream and letting us have a B stream to cast some Contenders level players. And now finally Overwatch 2. As I was saying, every other event has been Overwatch 1, and I've always said this might be the last time I catch Overwatch 1. But from the looks of it, that last one actually was, because now we're in Overwatch 2. We are casting 5v5, and I'm so excited because this patch, well, Toasty, while she's a little nerfed, I think Junker Queen and Sojourn are absolutely going to be the high-impact heroes to watch. That composition around it as well is going to look really exciting, and I'm super interested to see if A, that's the comp that teams still stick to, and B, if people deviate and how it's developed and evolved in that recent patch.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Obviously, we had CSS, Contender Summer Series, that happened pretty recently, and there were a couple of deviations from this whole Junker Queen, Genji, Sojin stuff, but overall, I feel like that was the main meta comp, and I'm loving it. Honestly, Junker Queen is so fun to watch, so fun to cast over. I'm not sure if playing the same composition repeatedly is fun for the teams at all. I'll let them be the deciders of that, but I'm super excited to get in and cast some Junker Queen, cast some Sojin, and maybe even some swap-ups. Obviously, in Contenders, we've seen, players like LH Cloudy just one-tricking the Rhine like a Chad. So we could potentially see that, but overall, I mean, the Junker Queen is just pretty powerful despite the nerfs.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing I'm sort of looking at today, how both of these teams, how both Nyx and Altoira sort of play around the powerhouses that are the Sojourn and the Junker Queen in this patch. As I said, those are my sort of go-to high-impact heroes. And well, I think we're kind of blessed today because, Toasty, I think we've got two pretty decent Sojourn players in this lobby. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, I mean, during Contenders, obviously, we've seen Biz absolutely popping off in terms of just like, obviously, Altoira got to 4th place, right? I forgot to introduce the teams here. We've got Altoira and a Nyx. So, Altoira, top 4 contenders recently in A-sides, and Biz, I think, was a big reason for that. Their Sojourn player. I think the only Sojourn that really hard diffed Biz was Wisp's Sojourn. That's Chopper. So, I do think we'll be seeing Biz pulling out some pop-off plays today, probably being the main player we're shouting out as we hype up the kill feed. But on the other side of things, right, you've got Nos here for the side of Nyx, who, is not played in a while in any official tournaments, but in the past they've been super successful, never fallen below 4th in Contenders, and I think they're mechanically gifted as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be really important because N2S, as I said, very mechanically strong player. And Overwatch 2 is a massive shift towards individual outplays and mechanics. We're seeing this at all levels. Overwatch League contenders, if you're good on Sojourn, you take these angles and you get 100 energy on your railgun and you just take someone's head off. They go down and you can win the team fight from it. Especially because of how squishy these compositions are in some of the poke phases. There's a lot of opportunity for teams to manage to get the poke and land the one shot onto people like Genji, onto the enemy Sojourn, onto the Brigitte, and onto the Lucio that we're sort of seeing as that backline as well. But like, just look at these rosters. By the way, Toasty, so much veteran, experienced talent. Calman71 or 711, been around for absolutely ages. Cuffer constantly popping up on the kill feeds on Twitter with some crazy primal tech, basically each week at this point. As you said, Biz popping off on the Sojourn was really probably the second best or third best Sojourn. As you said, in that Contender Summer Series, Haley, former Overwatch League player as well. She used to go by Halo, I believe. And Paintbrush as well, former Gladiators and Dallas Fuel main support. So it's going to be a little bit of a battle of the veteran Lucio players there. I'm super excited to see what happens.
Yeah, the first map, of course, here will be Oasis. Obviously, the map order as well is Control, Escort, Hybrid here. We won't be seeing any push unless we get a draw on that Hybrid map, and then we have to do push as a tiebreaker. So maybe we get the Fated 4 mapper here, but I don't want to curse anything. Oasis will be what we kick off on, and I think out of anything, this is probably going to be I'd say the Junker Queen map, right?
Yeah.
Other maps you can play like the Sigma, you can maybe play like the Rhine on King's Row, but Oasis, it's pretty much only going to be Junker Queen here.
I would expect it so. Normally, like traditionally in Overwatch 1, in 6v6, you could play a little bit of everything on all of the maps. And I think that's because of the way that tanks used to just dominate space and deny angles. Now, there is only one tank, and that tank is probably going to be Junker Queen. So much base HP sustain with themselves. Interestingly enough, I think Junker Queen has a real gap in their weakness, sort of real like hitting the armor when they don't get that passive constantly up, that damage over time that converts into healing, sort of like that Lucio tick passive. But there's a lot of cooldowns that keep this sort of Junker Queen comp with the Lucio Aura, with the Brig Inspire, with the commanding shout from the Junker Queen. It's just so much base HP and sort of tick healing over time that it really, really adds up. We're going to see compositions locked in here. Any second it is going to be University. We could see something like a May. We could see a Reaper. We could even see one of these teams play Doomfist. I think it's pretty decent into the Junker Queen itself. But I'm expecting just Junker Queen locks in here. There you go. No one messing about in the spawn rooms, Toasty. No one going for, you know, the Torbjorn emote in spawn to play with the turret or whatever. Both of these teams on this standard composition. Lucio and Bridge, tons of AoE healing in the backline. Sojourn and Genji to put in a lot of poke damage, and then the Genji for the poke eliminations, of course, to finish them off with the Swift Strike. And Junker Queen because, well, she's just the best tank in the game.
Yeah, and especially in the hands of someone like Crimson, who, I would argue, after finishing top 4 in contenders, was a top 3 Junker Queen. This is going to be an insane start here, starting off, of course, on University, where these teams are going to rotate on opposite sides. You'll get Altoira playing in the open, whereas Nyx want this sort of side room. Kuffer already under a lot of spam there. They're going to have to go aggressive with this commanding shout now, but they don't even have the opportunity to do that. The amp has already been used here by Fishcake and Altoira. They're just happy to keep on poking, approach to the point when it starts to unlock. And I think these poke phases are really going to be defining in terms of the ult charge you can build. Here's Kuffer now, starting to engage in, doesn't actually connect with the Carnage though. Nyx are on the point. Crimson in though, extremely quick. Good timing from Haley with that. Amp and Kuffer being overwhelmed a little bit. Well, they bait Biz in actually into that side room, takes him down, and what a big knife from Kuffer. Doesn't keep them alive with a sustain though, as Crimson takes their counterpart out. It does look like Altoira probably going to be at a bit of a disadvantage here, but they're still playing aggressive because Crimson is still up, still has the sustain here.
Yeah, the point is still has actually been flipped for Altoira. They managed to get it first off some honestly pretty sort of hit and hope cooldowns coming in from Nyx, but it looks like Toasted. They are flipping the fight. Though it's back on the point on the Sojourn, looking to find the angles. Haley goes down. That's no Lucio. That's so much AoE sustain over time gone with that Lucio falling.
Yeah, and it's this AoE healing that we're talking about a lot here, because that is what defines this composition, right? And we haven't really touched on the backlines too much, but Haley and Soames, I think, are a big reason that fight was won, as well as their contenders run, right?
Yeah, definitely. They flipped it over, and as I said, just the bulk sustain keeps that Junker Queen so healthy in moments where she should die. And speaking of, because obviously all the healing is done by the Lucio and the Brigitte, they are able to charge their ultimates so quickly. And this rally, yes, it's nerfed, it does not give armor anymore, it gives base HP, but it is so crucial. Ultimates are now vital, more vital than ever, and Boat goes down early, no Sojourn.
Blade in here from Sauna, though, to try and turn things around. Gets Biz with it. Both Sojourns off the board now. Makes these rallies a lot more impactful because there's no one-shot potential really here for either side, with Nyx being in possession of the point. It'll be Altoira that has to maybe start to go aggressive and try and make these opportunities for themselves. A commanding shout from Crimson can't quite save Snozzler there, as Sauna's just dashing all over the place, cleaning up some of these eliminations alongside Kuffer.
Yeah, and this fight is a textbook demonstration of one of my favourite things about Overwatch 2, Toasty. Who goes down first? It's Boat early thanks to a pick. In 6v6, oh, as I say that, Boat gets diffed again. Biz just takes his head off. I was saying that Nyx, though, they don't quite have the ultimates to flip the fight like they did last time. They just sent it last fight, committed 3 ultimates, and were able to hold on to it. But now with Altoira ult advantage, they should just walk in and reclaim this.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to use a Blade here for insurance, force Nyx ever so backwards, and Altoira get a lot of space off of that. They are able to re-engage, with Boat now being back in, Overclock on board as well. Good deflects from Snozzler to make sure those don't connect, and Kuffer goes down to Chef Big Dog, aka Soames. Crimson as well just uses that Rampage towards the end of the fight, but I think that's maybe a bit of an overinvestment.
I think so. Potentially they had it wrapped up, but when you're playing on control, I actually don't mind it. Every second, every percentage counts, especially when you think about the mass sustain that these compositions have got. Every single tick that you give over is crucial, so be able to wrap it up quickly. Honestly, I don't mind it, but for Nyx here now, they have their Rampage to go for themselves. If Crawford can land a big one, particularly onto the backline, then Haley and Chief Big Dog, aka Soames, could just get one shot.
Yep, Haley's beat will be extremely crucial for this fight. Of course, Rampage online here for Cuffer as they're already posturing for it. Gets an anti onto Snozzler. That beat just barely saves him on 1 HP. And what a collapse there onto Cuffer. They went a little bit too far into the back as Biz, again, getting the opening kill for Altoira. And they just right-click boat into non-existence.
Oh, my boat has been snapped out of existence. You hate to see it. Biz has been so clean with these right clicks, honestly. And we talked about the ability to flip fights when you are 5v4, but I mean, if Boat is doing it, if Boat is falling consistently, if Biz is consistently finding these picks, it's really hard to come back. 86% on the board for Altoira now. They've got Rally to go into the next fight against basically no ultimates from Nick. So Altoira really advantages ahead into what potentially could be the final fight of the round.
I mean, Knicks just need a little bit of healing here on a Paintbrush, of course. 97%. If they can build up that rally, it'll be huge for them. Blade comes in from Sauna right there as Chef Big Dog Soames does pop it. And Sauna gets taken down. What a knife from Crimson, connecting it, pulling it back through the wall, and now they have big opportunities to re-engage, but they're going to take their time. This is the patience that you love to see. Altoira, cooldown's back online, starting to re-engage. Carnage not going to connect there from Crimson, of course, but they're still playing aggressive. They've caught Cuffer out. They fall into the pit, and right now Snozzler is the one to go down instead with that commanding shout and that beat from Fishcake. So Nick, stay alive, 90% on board now, and I'm not sure Altoira really have the numbers to get back in.
Yeah, they need to touch. They're going to have the blade from Snozzler or Altoira, but they're going to have to lose Crimson. Losing your Junker Queen, your one tank, so crucial in this fight.
Snozzler, Blade online here. They can try and clutch this. They take down Paintbrush, looking for Cuffer as well. Would be a crucial kill. They find it. Snozzler clutching up for Altoira right now, but there's no one else here to make good on it. Snozzler, the only one to get kills towards the end of that, and the first round there ends in a 99 to 100.
Ooh, that was so close. I thought Knicks were actually going to lose that. Altoira seemed like in a really dominant position, but I guess the blade that came out and the rally from the Knicks Genji and Paintbrush and Sauna as well, pulling out their own ultimates, just ended up flipping that fight. Obviously, Chef Big Dog had that rally ready to go. They had it first, but essentially it's just a trade of resources, and Knicks were able to take the fight. I think having Crimson touch was just so damaging for them because, well, I mean, no tank, no win. Crimson having to touch, you have no one to take space, you have no bleed over time, you just have no presence on the objective, and Nyx can simply kite you, walk around, and then after Crimson went down, Haley and Chef Big Dog, those two supports for Altoira, just basically sent back to spawn in 2 or 3 seconds, snapped out of existence so quick. No adjustments being made from either team. They're going to try and dross off this high ground on the top as we head into the next round, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, Oasis Gardens second map. Let's see.
And Altoira having initial control of this high ground is so good. They can just engage off of the top rope like that, creating absolute chaos in the midst of Nyx, but Carnage doesn't quite connect there for Cuffer. They're going to start to re-aggress though. Point is going to unlock here. Altoira with the first kill again. It's always Biz here, always the Sojans to get these kills. There's the cap here for Altoira, and at this point I would say it's just cleanup.
Yeah, it's just Biz all of the time for all time. This Sojourn so free, playing from the safe angles. Basically at the back of the map, COD 4 Black Ops style with an AWP, or, I mean, that's not a COD gun, but nonetheless, you know what I mean. Playing basically in the back of the map as a sniper, just taking down consistently the Sojourn, and then there's no one else that can really contest Biz apart from that Genji, and when you have a Brigitte and a Lucio, that Genji's going to have a very rough time to get onto you. First flip goes over to Altoira, and they're just on this high ground, they're chilling. Biz is probably going to kill someone in 2 or 3 seconds because, well, he's been doing it the entire map.
Yeah, and that's exactly why you're playing the Sojourn. It's for that one-shot potential when there's so much base HP, that commanding shout for Cuffer. As soon as they engage with it, Biz is going to be looking for one of these picks. They've already been charging up this sort of railgun charge. As now Nyx start to engage onto the point, getting control, putting a lot of pressure on Crimson as well, who was left alone for a second there by their teammates. Will be saved a little bit as Soames comes in with this rally. Haley building up to the beat as well. Fishcake has it online, of course, and they could use one of their own if they want to keep things alive here, because they need to be quick on this retake. The percentage is just ticking up for Altoira, and now there we go. Fishcake in with the beat. Haley having the later beat is going to benefit them so much. The sustain is here. They're going to collapse on Cuffer, and they're just caught out. The kill comes through. Carnage connects there from Crimson, and that is a Junker Queen play we love to see. Sauna is going to try and clutch up, and they might just do it as well. They find Biz, but I don't think there's really much here in the face of Crimson's commanding shouts.
No, by the looks of it, Altoira, I think, actually are going to take this fight and send it to 90%. Beautiful deflect on the way out to kill Haley. That's going to be a chance for a quick region test. But that last fight was a game of chess. Every single resource committed. No one died for about 15 seconds. No one took damage for 15 seconds. At the end of it, they just go and they roll over cover and they one-shot him. Once again, Biz falls down, but it's traded 2 back for Altoira, winnable on the 99. They have to win this. Snozlaw looks like he's going to clean up this round with a blade.
Yeah, Salsa just in there with the blade, of course, just like last round, gets a few kills with it, and Altoira take the second round 100-0, and you know, I think that's probably off the back of Haley's beat. That penultimate fight, where Haley beated later than Fishcake did, that was so crucial.
Yeah, it was so good. Haley's beat there, keeping everyone healthy. There was nothing left on the field. Both rallies had been used. Both commanding shouts were on cooldown. Fishcake had committed the sound barrier, as you said, Toasting. From there, Haley just pressed the sound barrier, turned to her team and she said, guys, we have like 100, 400 HP more than the enemy. Let's just run at Kuffer and one-shot him. That's exactly what they did. They all inned Kuffer. That Junker Queen fell down. And from there, as we've said, no tank, no win. The Junker Queen is absolutely the core of this competition. When they fall, it's so easy to get onto these squishier targets and basically just to send them back to spawn in 2 or 3 seconds, take them down so easily and snowball the fight from that. Both of these teams now going into the final round 1-for-1, basically once again same compositions, keeping up with the practice that they've got, not going to try and deviate in the high pressure situation. It looks like,
oh,
wait,
what
is that someone off the map? Oh,
Haley, that's the Reddit Lucio we love to see. Oh my, I've missed seeing that. After seeing Altoira's games in CSS, obviously, Haley was a pretty big part of their gameplay. Such an aggressive Lucio. You see it there, they're chasing down Sauna as well. I mean, that's the Haley experience.
Base Lucio play, I absolutely love that. That's such good aggression from Haley. She lands that boot, though. We're going to have to address the elephant in the room eventually, aren't we, Toast Team? And getting picked a bit too many times.
Yeah.
For Nyx, I think they've not really had a Sojourn in these couple of fights, in these opening fights as well, and that is so crucial. We know how powerful the neutral fights have been in 6v6 and in 5v5 when ultimates matter so much more. You really can't be losing your Sojourn, one of your prime DPS, your key carry DPS this early.
Yeah, I mean, both of the DPS are carries, but Biz takes them down already. Biz, just stop doing them like that. They're getting sick of it at this point. It's just a double bash that comes through, cancelled out between Paintbrush and Soames. They both fall, but it's Snozler with the cleanup. As always, it's Genji, able to brawl so easily with the help of the Junker Queen.
Yeah, we've seen Genji's been played in Overwatch 2, obviously, when we've casted a lot of the lower level, but this is sort of just taken to the extreme. Snozlaw has Blade already, by the way, and that's going to be so good, but we're just seeing a classic example from Altoira of why this composition works. All the damage that's coming in from Crimson and Biz is just being executed by Snozlaw. They are putting all that damage into eliminations. They are over-trading the cooldowns, they are over-forcing cooldowns, and then when they are all down, Snozlaw is going into the kill. And speaking of, he's got his eyes on Kuffer with this Dragon Blade.
And Kuffer just gets completely split off from the rest of the team there. I'm not sure if it was a disruptor shot from Biz or what, but Kuffer was completely out in the open there.
Yeah, Kuffer, I think it honestly was a disrupting shot from Biz. Basically just sections off the team. They cannot walk through it. He cannot walk back, and it's one fight, it's one ultimate now. They're going to be building up to, I mean, Rampage, and they've got both support ultimates coming up as well. Altoira, 85%. They've been so clean this round. Nyx just have not been able to get it going. They've fallen so much to individual mechanics, and then in these fights where Altoira have their ultimate advantage, they're playing them really well.
And first beat is going to be online here for Fishcake. Way later than Haley had it, but at least they've got it for this fight. Biz has this overclock. Boat is nowhere near it, and they're going to pop it right now, see what they can get with it. Playing aggressive around the side, misses that shot onto Boat. Pretty uncharacteristic of Biz, but either way, that forces Nyx to play so passively. Gives the opportunity now for Altoira to play aggressive. Sauna has to come in with the blade, but it's just beated by Haley. That does leave opportunities for Kuffer to use this Rampage once they build it up. Crimson, again, has it before Kuffer does, though, and if they go first, and that's exactly what they're going to do, they should have the advantage. That's 3 players antied up. Paintbrush, the first to fall. Kuffer going to use it in response, but they just get taken down by Snozler, who is in there, following up on the anti, on the bleed damage, and I think that's about it. Altoira, they come up with the first map win over Nyx.
Yep, all the chips were down, everything was out, not yet ready to go, and Crimson just presses Q through the entire team. That is a 5-4-man Rampage from the Junker Queen. Everyone gets antied up, and they just fall like a deck of cards with a strong gust of wind. They absolutely collapse. There was a bit of a jostle in the mid-fight, both of these teams really trading resources, and I think we're sort of seeing the mental warfare, the mind games coming in, because both of these teams, when they had Rally and Sound Barrier committed, you could see the Genji there from, I think it was, wasn't Snoslot, it was Sauna. They were basically just wall hopping, climbing, looking for a target that was low, and there was no one low because everyone had at least 50% more HP than they normally do anyway. They had more HP than they actually have when they are full. There was nothing for the Genji to assassinate, so he can't play the game. Nothing he can do. And then from there, that sort of stall out in the fight allowed Crimson to pick his moment, pick his spot perfectly with that Rampage. Cleaved through them all. They all died. Nice anti-grenade. A really fun mechanic, Blizzard. Thank you for adding another anti into the game. With the damage over time bleed, it's really balanced. Junker Queen is not overkitted at all. Altoira go 1-up. Biz is absolutely rolling. Snoslot amazing on the Genji as well. Haley and I've forgotten the other support. Love to see it.
Soames, yeah.
Haley and Soames were really good. Brig basically never died the entire round. Especially those last two that they won so clean. But yeah, I don't have high enough praise for Altoira. But for Nyx, it's gonna sound really harsh, but I think if Boat just doesn't get one shots like a couple of fights in a row, then I think maybe they can play the video game. But you have to give, at the end of the day, you can't really just sit here and flame Boat for that, because it's just great mechanical outplays coming in from Biz. And that really is the impact. Mechanical diff coming in huge into Overwatch 2, and there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't lying, okay? I wasn't lying when I said Biz was, like, easily a top 3, Sojin in Contenders, right? They were pulling off this stuff in Contender Summer Series as well. Like, even when I said they got kind of diffed against Wisp Sojin, right? Even then, it was pretty close. Biz was making it look good. And I do feel like that's a big part of why they won, but also, like you say, the backline, Soames and Haley, these two players, I was telling you about this before we even went live here, but those two players were ones to look at, obviously. The main support matchup is always pretty big in these compositions where you need that amp to go in quickly, but you also need to sustain from the break. It's kind of like a double main support situation. And it did feel like Haley and Soames had a bit of a better leg up on them. And we've got this interesting main support matchup as well between Haley and Paintbrush, who are both trying to make their way back to Overwatch League. So Haley definitely proving they're up to that level, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well it's going to be something that we definitely overlooked, but I want to sort of just pin a spotlight on for just a second. There is so much going on in these compositions that these Lucio players, both Haley, she has to be in Narnia, and Paintbrush as well. They're like, he has to be, they both have to be all over the shop, all over the map, everywhere, doing everything. You can go for the Reddit Lucio DPS plays that we saw from Haley. She managed to pick off the late stagger a Genji to buy her team like an extra 5%, for example. Yeah. But when you have so much to do, it's sometimes very easy, even at this higher level, to forget that you need to be charging your ultimates, you need to be playing for that sound barrier. But every time we looked, every time an aggressive, potentially game fight-winning ultimate came out from Nyx, Soames or Haley, most likely Haley, had the sound barrier ready to go. And when you're winning these fights, Toasty, you're not taking a lot of damage. Therefore, you're not healing a lot of damage. Therefore, your support ultimates should charge slower. But, and yet, Haley always had a sound barrier first. So, quietly, maybe instrumental in Altoira being able to sweep those last 2 rounds of Oasis and take the first map.
Absolutely, and speaking of maps, obviously we're going to be going to the second one here, and potentially our final one if Altoira keeps playing like this. It's going to be Circuit Royale, and this is going to bring a change of pace. This is one of the few exceptions to the Junker Queen rule, as I'm going to start dubbing it, where you get to play Sigma.
Yes, you absolutely do. On the bad news, though, for Nyx, unfortunately, this is a very good Sojourn map. So I would be very scared if I were Nyx here, because if Biz is still in, and they are, they're probably going to lock Sojourn and see what they can do. This is a map that I've seen be dominated by hitscans so far in its existence. Sparker in the Overwatch League, Kai, Shy over in the APAC region.
Not even going to mention Merit.
Yeah, Merit as well, to be honest, anyone that can play headstand at the highest levels, absolutely dominating. We are seeing what looks like the Ashe. I think the Sigma here on the defense is better because of the poke angles that you can get, but at the end of the day, yes, the spam composition is premier on this map, but it might not be practiced because it's really the only map that you play it, and also, spam is a lot weaker now. One of the strengths of spam was that you used to be able to take off angles. You had your Orisa in main, your Sig on the off angle, 2 shields, 2 angles of poke, so much pressure. Now, there's basically no shields in the game, and there's only 1 tank. So spam gets so incredibly weaker because of it that teams might have just defaulted off it altogether and are basically just going with poke DPS and letting them play a bit slower. Nyx are going to do that. They are going to take advantage of these covers that we get on their attacks to try and play the Ashe. Biz as well also going to be on the cowboy / cow lady.
No Sojourn is so interesting to me here, but maybe it's for situations like that where you're just going to blow the backline up from an off angle. Biz does, of course, get punished for it, and it gives Nyx a better opportunity here because they have the better spawn, so they can get this payload rolling as soon as Boat is back up and running, and they can start dealing some damage to Altoira. That's why you see Altoira going aggressive here, and they're getting in, but Chef Big Dog, Soames goes down early, and you can't let him get caught out like that.
Yeah, they got a little bit too over-aggressive in that fight, did Altoira. It was Paintbrush in the back. He was untouched and put in a beautiful anti. I think it was onto Chef Big Dog and just Biz, but no, it's Chef Big Dog and Sazar. But just taking down that Brigitte, even with the anti-nade, that was the key one. Soames was caught in absolute no man's land. They had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, nowhere to heal, and just taken down basically on the back of a beautiful anti from Paintbrush. And that gives Nyx the fight. They're going to get round forward here. They're going to get the high ground. They're going to get the poke in. They're going to roll this payload slowly into the corner. And this mostly means finally a safe and aggressive sightline for Boat to play from here and try and look for these dynamites to N2S to finish off.
Yep. Payload getting dangerously close to the destination here, but of course, Altoira, they're right by it, they're stopping it in its tracks, and Nyx need to find a route in, and they're going to try and dive onto Snozzle there, who does get away just in time. Altoira, I think you need to start going aggressive here, though, because you're going to get this nano boost coming online from Paintbrush, which could be extremely crucial. Fishcake gets healed back up there just in the nick of time after being dove on. This rally is going to expire from Soames, and that's the go signal here for Nyx. You'll see Cuffer going aggressive. That's a backline blown up immediately, and Altoira, they're going to lose control of that point. Nyx are going to roll it in.
Yeah, and Nyx playing this so well. Their backline, I think, is quite greedy. Anazen, we've seen in the past, is so flimsy, so weak, but Altoira, in order to get to the Zenyatta with Fishcake, they have to run through the entire team. I say the entire team. It's basically only Cuffer and N2S they have to run through because Boat and Paintbrush are in the backline. When they walk onto Fishcake, they're going to get antied up, they're going to get dynamited, and anti plus dynamite is such a disgusting burn combo that you can basically take 2 or 3 people down with both those cooldowns alone. But for Altoira here, they've managed to not even hold the payload just yet, but they should with Snozzler's Blade coming up into this next fight. Saying that, N2S goes first.
And Haley doesn't beat it. They think they can survive the Blade from N2S here as Snozzler and N2S, yeah, they find one each here. I think Soames is the more crucial pick there. It gets rid of a lot of the sustain for Altoira here, as a Bob did come through from Biz, seeing what they can get with it. Snozzler in the back as well with the help of Haley's beat, but can't finish that kill onto Fishcake, just being hard-pocketed by a Paintbrush. This is worse than a pharmacy combo, I tell you that much. With Cuffer falling, though, I think Altoira remain in control.
I think so. Snozzler getting the pick onto, N2S. Falling down to Biz and this high ground again. Once we saw the absolute dominance that Biz putting in map 1 on the Sojourn, going to have such a great high ground to just zip down damage on to Nyx. They use the rampage in that last fight. That's going to be such an aggressive push though. Altoira collapsed with the commanding chow. Can they find it? The nano comes out onto Fishcake to keep him alive, but the trades?
Yeah, trade's going either way, but I think Boat's getting more kills here. That Bob doing a heck of a lot of work. 2 kills there for it, and Nyx, will Altoira even get a recontest here before Nyx roll it in?
I think so, but even if they do, they're going to have to come out through a choke point. The rampage from Crimson is going to be really crucial, but I just think this choke point that they can probably press is going to be so powerful. Crimson, I think, has to go with this rampage early to find the backline, because if not, oh, here we go.
Oh, that's a massive one. It finds all 5 for Crimson. 3 kills in the kill feed, and they just instantly blow up the entire Nyx squad. Crimson, that was elite.
Well, there was only one way out. There was 1 in 1 billion ever possibilities, whatever the line is from Avengers Infinity War, and it was Crimson killing their whole team with Rampage, and that's exactly what he did. So, fair play, Ginger Queen Diff, I guess. And there you go, that saves Altoira, that drains so much time off the clock. Nyx are now down on resources as well. They've got to come up with something miraculous here. They're going to need to find a play, because Biz now has got Bob to go as well to be able to help win that tank war with Crimson as well.
Yeah, Kuffer was in a very scary position there, but does manage to back off. They're starting to brawl it out with Soames, and look at this pressure from Altoira, not giving the space over to Nyx, pushing them back, and having this sort of push and pull, but now they're back off. They'll take a bit more space than they did last time, as that Bob goes in. Off angle here from Biz, just completely assassinating Paintbrush. What are they cooking up? I have no idea, but it works out. Paintbrush falls. There's a sustain gone. I don't think Nyx can really survive against Altoira now, especially with Soames still being up.
Yeah, I think he was cooking up a 1-for-1 trade, got a little bit too excited, maybe assumed that they could take the Brigitte down a bit too quickly, but Paintbrush, Owl experience, the stick actually manages to just come wide. I thought that was just about to drop onto the heel of Boat there to take down that Ash, but N2S looks like he's got that blade, he's ready to pull it, gonna get healed up, and with 57 seconds left, this is pretty much the win condition for now for Nyx.
It is, but Nyx, they can't get in time to make use of it. I'm not entirely sure how N2S didn't get value out of that blade. Haley's beat did, of course, come out a little bit late. Bob's going to go in from Boat here to get something, but Crimson just takes them down. Haley falls a little bit too close to the sun there, I'll tell you that much, as now Kuffer is just going to go mad alongside Paintbrush. The brawling capabilities too much, and Nyx finally caps second, but Altoira bled a lot of time off the clock there.
They did. They bled the key ultimate in that sound barrier, but when you look at now how barren Nyx's ultimates are, it was, you had to commit the farm, you had to put it all on black for this final fight, casino style, and they did. They do have the rampage, so if Kuffer can do what Crimson did and simply just press Q on all 5 of Altoira and kill them, then it'll look really, really good, but 4 ultimates basically used in the last fight for Nyx, they're going to be so down in resources compared to what Altoira have got going with this upcoming rally. Sorry, with this upcoming rampage and rally online for Chef Big Dog. Both of these teams just jostling, playing for position, and for now, I think this only benefits Nyx.
Oh, Boat getting revenge for the last map. Finally getting that opening pick onto Biz that they so desired. And that should allow Nyx to go aggro. You see it here. An instant kill onto Soames there with the shotgun from Kuffer. And the cleanup just ensues.
Yeah, it wasn't the best ultimate from Kuffer. It was a 0-man rampage, but let's not dwell on that too much because Kuffer just went in and then 180 one-tapped Chef Big Dog, aka Soames there, on the Brigitte. The fight was already won. Boat getting a little bit more active in the kill feed on this map. Love to see it. Getting a nice opening pick there on the Sojourn, giving Biz a taste of their own medicine, as we saw in that first map. And Nyx are doing a lot better on this map. They're kicking back. They're looking a bit revitalized. Very, very strong. And this composition, as you said, Toasty, this was Altoira's weakest map. But, I mean, so far, all credit to Nyx. They're playing it so well. 30 seconds left on the clock, but Crimson always got Rampage again.
Yep. And it's Crimson's Rampage here that I think is the crucial ultimate. As soon as Nyx try to engage, you've got this narrow area they have to push through, but they're not going to do that. They're going to opt for this high ground rotation as Altoira, they don't have the time to meet them there, I think, as Nyx now have a high ground advantage. Boat is gonna love this, and N2S finally has this blade online. No support ultimates for Altoira to stop this one, so it's just gonna be the commanding Shao. Crimson gets the rampage onto N2S, and the Bob to combo it. Biz finds 3 with it, Snuzzler with the other 2, and underlying between all of that was Crimson's rampage setting it up.
And there we go, Altoira completely blown them over. They got Nyx got knocked up, and then both the DPS from Altoira coming in to bowl them down and clean them out for that map. Honestly, though, that last fight looked a little bit doomed when you looked at the ultimates anyway, but Nyx, I'm sure they will be very, very happy with that push. 80 meters on Circuit Royale, I think, is very, very impressive and very, very defendable nonetheless. That second point in particular, if you can sort of jostle them off the payload just after they cap first, is a really, really dangerous position from a spam comp to operate on. And we saw that Boat in particular was getting a little bit more warm, sort of really getting into the game, getting into the rhythm of hitting some of those shots on Sojourn this last map. So if they can keep that momentum going, it's going to be so crucial for them. What we're seeing from Altoira, though, is they're definitely struggling. They're not getting it together as much. Their tempo, I think, has dropped a lot, and they're not being able to find these individual mechanical outplays. And in these fights where Biz hasn't been able to just one-shot someone, Altoira, honestly, Toasty, they've been really struggling, I think.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, obviously, in terms of the Contenders Summer Series, this is the map they struggled on most against Wisp, I would say, who were the ones that took 2 wins against them to knock them out. So, a bit of bad memories here for Altoira, possibly going into the attack off. We'll see exactly what they get from it, of course. Snozzler remaining on the Tracer here. What do you think of that?
Probably just going to pressure the backline. You're going to have a really nice flank to get on. And hey, if you could one-clip someone, if you can pressure someone out with your Junker Queen and Sojourn combo in tow, then being able to just quickly one-shot a support, it's always good. Speaking of quickly one-shot, goodbye N2S.
Yeah, even when not on the Sojourn here, Biz still able to get those opening kills. Of course, will be traded out, but it's enough anarchy been caused by that next they're going to have to start backing up or just hard committing. Not sure which they're doing, as Snozzler just comes in with a cleanup and says, you know what, you're going back to the spawn room. I think Jace is muted, I would imagine here, so...
Yeah, I am muted. There we go.
There we go.
I got to unmute my microphone, but basically what I was saying is Snozzler going on that Tracer, permanently going for Boat. That Tracer is on a manhunt mission going for that Sojourn, and make sure that Boat essentially cannot play the game, and the rest of Altoira 4v4 do the work for them. But it looks like it's going to be a Genji swap, and Nix, though, they're going aggressively, look to trying to take down an overextended Snozzler, but he's going to dash out to safety.
A lot of ult charge early on here for Snozzler, considering it was a late swap. I mean, N2S 33% has died twice early on, and Snozzler's at 62% despite swapping. That's insane.
Yeah, you got to remember some of that new Overwatch 2 DPS passive. Make sure that you convert ultimate charge over.
Oh,
I believe you convert 30% over, yeah. But even then, I think Snozzler had like 30-40% of a Tracer ultimate. So been building up Blade so fast. This payload has capped into second 5-minute time bank for Altoira, and they're going to have ultimates to come up very soon. But most importantly, it's still considered a neutral fight in Nyx, while they have this deadly high ground to play from.
Altoira, I think, want to play this fight slowly and see if they can build up the rally or the Blade. Could be a big win condition for them, considering Fishcake is falling a little bit behind on this beat, and Paintbrush is nowhere near that rally. Altoira starting to approach up this road now as N2S goes in a bit aggressive. Can't be punished there, as now here comes the rally from Altoira. This is what I'm talking about. So much aggression as they finally find N2S. Again, just a little bit too far in there, I would say. So now it's just cleanup, I think.
Yeah, I think N2S goes a bit too close to the sun. Even with the commanding shout that was forced out from Kuffer, they managed to still go down. It would have just kept them alive a little bit longer, but even if N2S manages to live there, you force your commanding shout basically because your Genji goes a bit too close to the sun, Icarus style, and even without that commanding shout, you just get ran over anyway. Speaking of run over, Crimson, with that Rampage coming up online, this is going to be a perfect choke point, but the boop goes away onto the Bob, going to get sent to the back, and yeah, the Bob from Biz, not the best.
It's a nice crossfire. Look at it. Like, they're playing Valorant here, you know? So yeah, setting up that Bob on the other side, it forces Nyx to look at two different angles, and 0.11 meters away right now. Altoira just need to force them off, but that's not going to happen here, as two support ults there for Nyx will just keep them alive. Now Crimson goes in with that Rampage Carnage as well, let loose. Looks like Crimson wants to clutch up, but there's not really much manpower here to help them do it, as they try and go aggressive onto the backline. Boat just going to slide away, and there's the cleaner with the overclock.
Crimson saw the highlight play in their eyes. They saw it. There was no rally, there was no sound barrier, but unfortunately for Altoira, there was just no one else to go in with that Junker Queen. And yes, they managed to basically 180 one-shot Sobes, that Brigitte 100 to 0'd, well, 200 to 0'd with their HP bar insta one-shot, but everyone else on Nyx was living. The AoE sustain healing came in, and they were able to keep themselves nice and healthy because of it. This 5-minute time bank is now cut basically in half. It's only Haley Sandberry to go, so Nyx now slowly but surely coming back into these fights with some great stabilization in the mid-game.
Oh, Biz though going down early. Haley opting to not use that beat because they know they have time. They can disengage and they can use that beat in a later fight.
Yeah, I think they can just chill. They're just probably going to wait for the commanding shout or the Rampage. If Kuffer sends it, goes in, finds 3, turns into 4. Biz is the only one alive, but they walked out a long time ago. And as we said, Nyx looked so transformed in this fight. They looked so clean. N2S goes in and gets the Blade and essentially just backs off. They don't need to over-invest. They don't need to overcommit and potentially fall to make it a 4v4. They wait for the commanding shout, Toasty, and they go back in. And speaking of over-investing, Nyx are currently touching the spawn doors. What is
where's Kuffer? What? You can stand on that tree? Okay. Interesting stuff there from Kuffer. Not sure how they were... It looked like they were levitating in midair, I'll tell you that much. But Kuffer now trying to get in, get some self-healing, but they're not able to put enough bleed there to keep themselves alive. Punished for that aggression, and that should give Altoira some time to get back in. But by the time they get back on that payload, I feel like Nyx are going to be back.
Yeah, unfortunately, even though Kuffer managed to find the nice little off angle in the tree, he was all bark and no bite. I'll leave that one alone. No more tree puns. It would be good if I had another tree pun, wouldn't it? Anyway, 1 minute 20 left on the clock. Altoira have got a great pair of ultimates ready to go, but Nyx with that commanding shot on the rally, they're just going to force them back. Altoira will, Toasty though, they will have a very, very good re-engage with this Snozlaw Dragon Blade.
And Haley's being extremely stingy with this beat, considering they refused to use it against N2S just a few fights ago. They're coming up towards another blade. Boat has an overclock coming up. You'd love to use a beat sometime in this fight to go aggressive. There's a commanding shout to start it off. Altoira want to play aggro, but Snozlaw not in a great position for a blade right now as that goes to complete waste. Biz from the off angle here, looking to hit some shots and deal some damage. There's the Bob in. Does some disruption, and Kuffer now out of position because of it. Can they be cleaned up onto? Indeed they can, as once again it's always the Bob in these team fights being the MVP.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Bob making it a 6v5, so crucial. There's no shields in the game, there's not a lot of CC, and both of these compositions honestly don't have that much damage. If you can throw Bob aggressively on an angle, honestly, there's not much that either composition can do. Nyx are having a really hard time dealing with it because they just don't have the damage and the resources to be able to kite it once they're in. Once they commit with the commanding shout, Biz just uses the Bob and they get stuck between a rock and a hard place. And unfortunately, that hard place is a 800 HP big Omnic Butler with an aimbot. So good luck dealing with that. 1 minute 30 left on the clock though. Altoira got a great opportunity to snowball this fight with Rampage and potentially take the 2-0.
Yep. And just a couple of kills will do it here as well to finish off the series in a pretty dominant fashion. That's going to be Boat using the overclock though to make sure Altoira can't just freely waltz in. Of course, the rally is going to be popped in response to negate some of that one-shot potential that you could gain out of it. Both those ultimates now expended and will be expiring. There's the blade in from N2S, finds Chef Big Dog, finds Biz, and just slices the side of Altoira to smithereens. Now a minute remaining, and that time bank is dwindling away.
It really is. It's going to be penultimate, if not final fight with 40 seconds left on the clock. I could tell that Crimson was jostling, looking for the angle. This is a tight choke point. It's going to look really good for the Rampage, but fair play to Nyx. They went in, they went aggressively, they went early. N2S's blade. So good to be able to clean them up, and now it puts even more pressure on this Jungle Queen. It has to come from this Rampage. The ultimate has to be big. It only finds Kuffer. But on the flip side, Kuffer gets everyone.
Yeah, Kuffer just absolutely collapsed on after that Rampage from Crimson, but Boat is still there with the headshot to make sure Crimson gets taken down. Now, Altoira, they might get another fight, but Nyx, I think if they play aggro here, they can stall some time off.
Yeah, it's going to have to be the Wrecking Ball switch from Crimson to come to the point, but that last fight was all about Kuffer's Rampage. Crimson went in, forced to only manage to find Kuffer. But the Junker Queen gap coming in that final fight, huge 4-man Rampage. That's going to be Crimson taken down. The Bob does come in, so potentially winnable. The Snozlaw Blade has to be big.
The beat though, Fishcake negates it with the beat, and Nyx here. The ultimate economy, you know, we were talking about this before. This composition is heavily based around the ultimates you have. Fishcake just uses that beat to negate the entire blade. Both DPS ultimates. Now it's just the cleanup here for Nyx as they look to take the map. And they look to shut down Altoira. 1-1 on the board, and we're heading to hybrid. Not hybrid. Is it hybrid? Yeah, it's hybrid.
There we go. We are heading to hybrid. It's been a game of two maps. Altoira were so dominant on map 1, particularly those last 2 points of Oasis, basically capping it like 200% to maybe 85, 50% overall. But we've come to Circle Royale, and Nyx have just, honestly, I think blown them out the water with some very, very good team play. The only fights that Altoira were winning were ones where they had insane ultimate advantage, where they were able to basically just press Q and win. You were able to just essentially throw Bob into the backline and tell Nyx to deal with it, and they couldn't. But in these neutral fights, in these skirmishes, when Nyx were able to just pull out with, after committing something like a Dragon Blade, for example, we saw it. N2S goes in, pulls the blade, gets a kill, backs out. They wait for the commanding shout, and then they collapse and re-engage and kill the rest of the 4. And not only does that not risk the fight, not risk the potential of trading 1-for-1 after using Dragon Blade, it means that you have that added layer of sustain. You drain more time bank off the clock as well. And honestly, just a really good understanding of when they can fight and when they can't from Nyx. And it's so different to what we saw on Oasis. It felt like they were definitely over-forcing a bit on Oasis. Not sure if you agree, Toasty, but Altoira definitely had control of the tempo, but this map completely flipped on its head. Nyx looked so much better. And as we go into Escort, it is going to be Altoira's pick, but I'm very interested to see how this match develops as we go into what is essentially going to be game decider match point.
Yeah, looks like map 3 will end up being King's Row, so it's one of those maps where you could potentially see a sort of Reinhardt pick come through. Obviously, Altoira, when LH Cloudy one-tricked the Reinhardt against them, they didn't opt into it. Altoira stuck to their guns, they played the Moira Lucio Junker Queen. Obviously, the Moira not, I would say, as effective now, because the whole weaken nerf coming through, but I think for King's Row specifically, Altoira, the thing I think they need to brush up on a little bit is their rotations. It felt a little bit like they were running it down mid in every single fight on Circuit Royale, and while that's a decent strategy with the Junker Queen comp, there was no real way to counteract the positioning of Nyx.
Absolutely, you are 100% right. They were, particularly in those first couple of fights when Nyx were on Ana Zen and they slowly transitioned off to it in the last couple of fights, but when Nyx played that Ana Zen composition, they were completely all-inning the Zenyatta every fight. They used the speed boost and the commanding shout to try and, well, just one-shot the Monk as fast as possible, but Paintbrush and Boat were in the backline with the grenade and the dynamite as well. So even if it was the case where the Zenyatta of Nyx would go down, it was at least a 1-for-1 trade. And from there, Altoira in the middle of Nyx's team, facing up against an Ana, massive sustain advantage with no key cooldowns. There was no way for them to disengage, so they're stuck in there. They are all in, and in the fights where Altoira could not just blow someone up with a bob, Biz didn't headshot someone. We got to remember, with the rampage there coming out from Altoira's times, just being able to Crimson, being able to just basically one-shot the entire team with that ultimate. And it's developing slowly over this map and over the course of this series. Altoira in these neutral fights, I think they're getting a little bit sloppy. They're getting a little bit too rushed. They're playing a little bit too ahead of themselves in terms of tempo, and Nyx playing a more defensive, reactive composition are absolutely taking advantage of that. So excellent read from the coaches or the shot caller, whoever is doing the macro for Nyx, because they've spotted that gap and honestly they abused it to a map win on Circuit Royale.
Yeah, and as well, I think it's a little bit of a weakness in terms of how, like, what Biz was doing, right? They were diffing on the Sojourn. They were diffing Boat entirely. As we expect from Biz, right? Obviously, an insane Sojourn player. Then opts not to go with the Sojourn on Circuit Royale. Boat plays it, has the natural advantage, because Sojourn is Sojourn. You have one-shot potential. It's like Widowmaker, but you got to charge up a shot for it. But you also get that overtime damage. You get a Disruptor shot as well. That caught Crimson out a couple of times. Felt like just a compositional, like, sort of difference there was a factor as well. For Nyx, obviously exploiting the weaknesses of Altoira's comp, which was the lack of that one-shot potential.
Yeah, and what I can say as well, though, is that I don't mind the Ash, because I think it's a little bit more consistent on that map, but it was sort of counterweighted by the fact that Boat was popping off. Boat was hitting so many crucial shots, blitzing that Junker Queen HP pool, so they had to force a disengage out from Crimson. So a lot of credit, a lot of plaudits should go to Boat for being able to counterweight that, because it was consistency versus peaks and troughs, and Boat provided so many peaks that it made it worth it. Now, though, however, Altoira, I can say with decent confidence and decent faith that they smashed them on this composition the last time they played on Oasis, especially on those Brawl maps. Nyx did, to be fair, win University, which is the best Brawl map for Oasis, and we're going to get the mirror map here on King's Row. It is going to be Brawl from both teams, so I'm interested to see how this develops out. I think there's keys for both sides. I would favour Altoira, though, as we go into this last map, but I mean, if Boat's going to keep hitting shots on Sojourn, if N2S is going to keep being very clean with these Dragon Blades, if they're going to keep disengaging and re-engaging with the commanding shout like they were doing, like Nyx have been doing throughout Circuit Royale, then there's no reason why Nyx can't win this map and get the reverse sweep.
Of course, and obviously Altoira staying on the defense here is a pretty good way for them to start controlling the tempo. Nyx have to play into them, and Altoira can choose to push on whenever they would like to. What I'm interested in as well is if Haley and Chef Big Dog, if Soames, if they don't get picked off early on here, because that was something that was an issue for them on Circuit Royale as well, was that support line going down early. You know, Altoira, they're looking to go aggressive here, and this time, seems like Haley and Soames aren't really getting caught out too easily. Not Crimson, Biz on an off angle there, almost caught out. Good peel there from Haley, but Soames gets left out to dry because of it. When your players are that split up, you can't be letting them just get picked off.
Yeah, they do get picked off, but I think Altoira's re-engage is good. They saved the MVP, they saved Biz, and well, Crimson is also there as well. They did not deal with the Junker Queen, and whilst they just didn't give over a tick, it's going to be respawn advantage for Nick, so they can come back so much quicker than Altoira, but not a bad trade. I think Altoira, though, kind of clutching it up individually, mechanically in this fight to bail them out from honestly a pretty poor rotation from Biz to open it up.
But now it's given tons of space over to Nyx as well. They're getting onto the point here, 3 on it. So Altoira are going to give a couple of ticks over to make sure they have a favorable engage, I would say. But N2S diffing Snozzler a little bit there with the kill on the Genji. Crimson just engages in, hits a Rampage, not a Rampage, Carnage, sorry, onto the Lucio. But Fishcake kept alive by Paintbrush's Inspire. And Nyx, they're just going to get their cap up and get a pretty good time bank. Pretty sizable here.
Yeah, great read from Nyx. They know they have spawn advantage. They know they have pace advantage. Most importantly, they basically dash to the point, and from there, Altoira are forced to walk into them, and they're just sent back to the spawn room. Quick shout out Respawn, one of the sponsors of the event in the bottom. There we go. Thanks to them for keeping the lights on and sponsoring the event, of course. Hashtag sellout. Anyway, back to the game. Nyx is on here. Fish Take Sound Barrier is going to be so crucial because Altoira have some great resources and ultimates coming out from line to aggress into them. So if Fish Take is clean with his Sound Barrier, this could be a huge swing and snowball for Nyx in this Streets phase of Kings Row.
I think some aggression is needed here from Nyx to try and bite back against Altoira, and they're going to do just that. N2S again with the starting kill to open the team fight. It's no longer Biz or Boat they were talking about in these situations. It's always N2S as Haley goes down as well. Boat doing the cleanup right as we mentioned their name. And Nyx, they're looking pretty good with this Genji.
Yeah, I've not mentioned it. It's almost been something that's been ignored so far, basically by me only. N2S has been so good with these solo kill potentials. Believe they were a hit scan player before taking a long break and coming back, but being able to pull out this Genji, so good. The Genji in this composition, I always think about it as the one to find the executes, not the solo kills in the opening damage, but with those blades, with those swift strikes and those right plates, N2S has been so good on this Genji, and it's really opened up a whole new opportunity and playstyle for Nyx to be able to play now that they've got to deal with this rally coming in.
Oh, Koffer very aggressive in there. Gets a big ante, of course, onto the Altoira players, but they just bite back with the beat that keeps them alive a little while longer, and now Crimson is going to go for a Rampage of their own. It's all five players again. It's always these massive Rampages from Crimson that just bag them these team fights.
Yep, send them all in a body bag. I don't know, just put them in a body bag and off down they go. Crimson's ult is absolutely ginormous, but it's not all doom and gloom for Nyx, Toasty, because look what Altoira used in that fight. I'm pretty sure they committed at least one of their, if not both of their support ultimates, and the blade came out as well. It might have actually been all 5 from Altoira. It was at least 3. I'm trying to remember the kill feed, the ultimates, but Altoira synced so much into that fight, and with 2 minutes 30 left on the clock, Nyx have got plenty of opportunity to be able to play in these neutral fights. N2S can find a one-shot, or just charge their own ultimate, something like Rally and Rampage, and go in back with themselves. Crimson, though, getting forced out early.
Yeah, but just the aggression comes in there. You know, the Disruptor shot doesn't stop you when you have so much commanding shout HP over it, and just negating that ability completely. Nyx get cleaned up, and Altoira, I mean, they're taking these neutral fights pretty confidently now.
Yeah, they're playing so confidently there. I thought they were going to run down Crimson with that commanding shout being forced out, but Crimson just says, no, I am running at you. Turns and just one-shots Paintbrush. And then from there, it was a great Disruptor shot as well to secure those kills. And secretly, I think one of the most destructive parts of Sojourn's kit, that Disruptor shot ability to turn 1 kill into 4. And obviously, with the importance of ultimates, any extra percentage you can get, so crucial in the later fights. But for now, it's going to be commanding shout engage from Nyx. They've got to go aggressive here with N2S Blade coming up soon.
I mean, it's already over. I mean, those 2 kills come through. 2 most crucial players in the composition, I would say here. Probably for Altoira. Yeah, they go down. And something I want to mention here is the N2S is actually playing right now. Sauna was playing on map 1. They lost it. Nyx, now they have N2S in. 1 Circuit Royale. Now they're looking to win Kings Row, maybe? Post-jump?
Yeah, N2S diff, I guess. I actually thought in that last fight, Altoira were not just going to fall over that quickly. That's not something that I've gotten used to so far as this series has gone on, but I mean, I'm going to have to look at the replay for that one. Not quite sure what happened, apart from Nyx just barreling them over. 2 minutes 25 left as we move into the 3rd point of Kings Row. N2S got the blade again. Let's see what he can do.
Rally in here, though, from Soames. That is a target to go for here if you're N2S, and deals a lot of damage to them, gets them out of line of sight of Crimson, who then falls because of it. What a play, actually. That's really subtle, forcing a Chef Big Dog out of line of sight of Crimson during that rally.
Yeah, I was about to say, N2S's blade goes straight for Chef Big Dog, aka Soames. Soames has to disengage and run away, which means the rally isn't applied to the rest of the team, so they just take down more of Altoira because of it. Cuffer just walks up and basically one-shots Crimson. Now 150 left on the time bank. It's slowly ticking down, but Nyx keep going. They've got a Rampage and Rally, two great ultimates for them. This could be a really impressive time bank. Oh, great ult from Cuffer.
Yeah, two-man anti. Crimson is the one that especially needs to go down here. They're so aggressive in the back. They used the Rampage on their own. It did hit too, though, and it was a DPS, crucially, that were hit by that anti. So Crimson, being barely kept alive throughout most of that fight, will finally fall, but pretty much when it's too late, I would say. A 4v3, very winnable here for Altoira with the DPS gone for Nyx.
I thought Nyx honestly played that fight well, Toasty. They went first, they went with the rally, they went with the Rampage, but Crimson just turned around, hit all 5 of them with that Rampage. Actually, I think it was 3 yet again, and the burst healing sustain that they got, I was looking at Crimson's HP bar in that last fight. Basically never moved from 50 HP, so much sustain coming in, and now Biz is looking for an angle with the overclock beat comes out from Haley, though both these teams really jostling, but Altoira, key resources committing here. Can they find the kill? They do. Cuffer goes down.
And that's exactly what we were seeing on map 1, right? On Oasis, those greatly timed beats from Haley, just keeping Altoira alive when a couple of their players were on the brink of death. That timing is what we expect from Haley at this point.
Yes, definitely. Haley's beat is so good there. Just allows them to stay in and stay aggressive. And when you commit that commanding shout, you need to find picks, you need to find trades, because the cooldown is just so important to the base sustain of this composition. But slowly but surely, Altoira, they've drained the time bank. 22 seconds left. Nyx don't have any key resources to go. Boat gets low as well. This is going to be final fight for Nyx.
It really will be, and they need to make something from it, but no ultimates online, and they still find Soames. What is that? Crimson falls as well. Nyx, against the odds, against the rally of Soames, they somehow come out in a fight where they're disadvantaged in terms of the ultimate economy, and they have a beat as well just for the stall. I don't know if you'll even get one here from Altoira. Looks like the Ball and Haley will, of course, be out here to get something done, but Fishcake should be able to sustain through a stall fight pretty easily.
Oh, Haley just gets one shot though, so Cuffer potentially on the point, could be swinging it. Yeah, the numbers are over. Smuzlaw finding Cuffer is going to be good, but Biz is going to have to 1v6. 1v5.
N2S just takes him down while airborne. The Farah pick is not going to work there. You're not using, you're not going to make it work. And that right there is Nyx barely, creeping it through, I would say. It's overtime, so they won't have a time bank to go in with here. But honestly, I feel like completing King's Row in a composition like this, where these fights can sometimes be pretty drawn out with the push and pull that we're talking about, I think that's pretty good.
I would take that if I was Nyx. Absolutely. As we said, there have been some, once again, illegal fight wins that Altoira are taking because of rampages from Crimson, because of sound barriers coming out from Haley. So it is definitely an uphill battle, I would say, from Nyx. They are absolutely running on very steep terrain to sort of crawl themselves back into these fights. It feels like Altoira, every time they go down, every time someone goes low, they have a key resource to get someone back up over the kill threshold that Nyx are giving them. And as we've said, there is not the most damage in this composition, really. So you have to be very clean with your target focus. But if you're cleaner with your defensive target focus, with your defensive peel, then it's really hard to take down. And something that I think Nyx are learning the hard way is when they have Commanding Shout, when they have Pax Inspire up and Amp it up, you cannot all in Crimson, because they tried to do it, and Crimson went from 50 HP to 100 HP to 40 HP to 70 HP to 30 HP to 120 HP. You get my point. You cannot kill this Ginger Queen when they have cooldowns, Toasty. So Nyx, I think, need to potentially stop doing that and look for the other targets, because when they're doing that, Crimson is not dying and he's just turning around, and even if he's not one-shotting one of the supports from Nyx, one of his DPS are.
And again, it's this push and pull. If you bait out cooldowns early, you're going to be in an advantage. But right now, Altoira, with that first pick, Chef Big Dog just manages to kill N2S with that 50 damage bash. You know, after Overwatch 2 has changed that completely about Brig. Not unbalanced, by the way, at all. But Nyx, they're actually doing a good job of putting some aggression on and making sure there's time here for them to come back. N2S is going to be back here on the Pharah. A lot of long-range damage to be had. Again, pulling out the Biz Yizen play, I guess, here. As Snozzler has to go up and contest them, manages to get a sick deflect onto the rocket, but Altoira, they're getting a really slow cap through here. They need to end this team fight before things can get out of hand here from Nyx.
Yeah, Altoira are bleeding them out. It's going to force decisiveness to come out from Nyx, and when you rush, you can make mistakes. But as I say that, Cuffer finds the perfect one-shot onto Haley to open the fight. Great pick for Nyx here.
Yeah, always is, and Crimson falling next as well. Chef Big Dog going to try and do their best, but Bo is not a great kill there, and yeah, I mean, that was a great re-engage from Nyx.
Yeah, we've been, I mean, in particular, I think we've been very, very highly praised. We've got a lot of praise for Crimson in this fight, but that last one was all about Cuffer. Walked in, basically solo killed 2 people on that Junker Queen, demonstrating the solo kill burst potential that this Junker Queen character offers if she does not have enough in her kit already. Commanding Shout goes in, N2S got the barrage looking for it.
Oh, gets taken down though. Good right click there comes through from Biz. Railgun takes them down alongside Haley, but with Crimson falling, it's a lot more difficult here for Altoira. They're going to keep that. Oh, that is excellent. That shuts down the rally. I was going to say they're keeping the rally up, but not anymore. Clearly, his boat helps clean that kill up. Cuffer now starting to go aggressive. But actually, no, they'll back off. Nyx need to give up some space because they've lost a couple of players.
Yeah, that is just a perfect
C9?
demonstration. Oh.
C9! No way! We took one at some point here, of course.
No way. Oh, okay. Well, reset the calendar, boys. Reset the calendar.
0 days since the last C9.
0 days since the last C9. I think Nyx definitely should have contested the point here. I think they were down in numbers, but they 100% could have stalled it out because, well, this composition just sustains. Don't know what else to say. Anyway, Altoira, I think it's honestly a big sigh of relief because now they get the point. Nyx have to back off and they can save these resources, these key resources, the Sound Barrier, the Dragon Blade, and the Rampage to go into this next fight. They can use this to advance the payload and not just unlock it for Nyx. Well, they need to go high in, they need to go with this tempo or risk just completely getting one shot, and by the looks of it, Snozzler pulls out the blade first, straight pick onto boat.
Yeah, good starting kill there from Snozzler. A lot of ultimates being invested here early by Altoira as well, taking that quick team fight after realizing that the past few fights for them have been drawn out, have been that sort of push and pull. Now they're just going aggro. They're going to clean up now. It's still being extended out quite a bit by Nyx, but yeah, overall, pretty good fight for them there.
Not too bad. I think when you invest Blade there and you manage to trade out the rally, pretty good. The ult economy, as we've mentioned, is just so crucial because it really dictates how and when you can engage and play these fights. But for Nyx, though, we've seen Bo and N2S be a little bit quieter on this defense than they were on the attack. Definitely not got the space to work with, that's for sure, because Altoira and Crimson are taking it all the way with such aggression. This payload is rolling in, though, 2 meters down. Nyx have to touch, they have to go in, but when they do, they funnel themselves into this great rampage.
Yeah, Crimson again catching just the crucial players, right? Cuffer and Paintbrush. That forces Paintbrush to disengage alongside Cuffer, and then all that happens is Fishgate goes down alongside Cuffer. Like, just a great rampage overall from Crimson.
Yeah, it's so good. They, as I was saying, like before, I sort of threw it over half-heartedly, haphazardly, quite badly, but they have to touch their payload. They have to narrow themselves down. They have to force themselves into a choke, and then Crimson can just walk through them with Rampage, ante them all up. The rest of his team can collapse, and from there, they run the Nova. But 3 minutes 56 left on this time ban. It's going to be a blade from N2S to push it out.
And Haley just, I went off the edge, I guess. Unlucky. A bit of a chips moment right there.
You know what? She foresaw the future. She foresaw that N2S's blade was going to single-handedly win the fight. So she said, instead of feeding ult charge, I'm just going to reset. So
tactical
it's genius.
Reset.
It's genius from Haley. This is the kind of macro that we see absolutely at the highest level. But joking aside, it's absolutely fine. They were losing that fight anyway. So honestly, it doesn't matter. Altoira, though, 3 minutes left on the time bank. They've got so much time in the world. I think they're just going to wait for these resources. But as I say that, Biz goes in with the overclock, Look at Nyx, they're so terrified they have to run away.
Oh, what a shot from Biz as well. Flicks it onto N2S right as they're up towards the high ground. You'd love to see that. Opens things up entirely for Altoira now, as that's a lot of aggression here, I would say, from Snozzler. They have to be bailed out by a couple of packs from Chef Big Dog, and now the N2S is back. Next, they can re-engage with this beat online. That's a lot of sustain for them to have, but N2S goes down again. What a knife from Crimson. Altoira, they'll disengage a little bit to let that beat fade away. Now they go back in. Crimson hits a sick carnage onto the opposing Junker Queen, but Paintbrush has this rally still up. That's gonna stop them from getting these kills, getting these executes through. Biz in one of the most obscure positions ever, but now the blade comes in from Snozzler, trying to get something done. What a shot from Biz, though, onto N2S, shutting down the clutch of Bastion pick. Sorry, you're not Zephyr. You can't make that happen. Funnily enough, Zephyr was on Mayhem as well, who, Florida Mayhem hosts this event, so, yeah. Altoira just gonna win out this fight after they kill off the remaining Tracer, and yeah, pretty solid fight.
It was a little bit closer, as we were saying that, as the N2S Bastion was less than inspirational. Boat was absolutely trying to clutch this out, found 2 with the overclock, but Altoira just had their tank on the objective. Crimson kills up 3 there, and probably was all over that team fight as well. Really can't stress that enough. Altoira simply just out-sustained them. Unfortunately for N2S, that one is probably going to be going in the files of Overwatch 1 nostalgia, and by nostalgia I mean PTSD, because that is the Overwatch 1 Genji experience there. One shot, and then they walk out of spawn, and then they get one shot, and then obviously they play Bastion and they're stationary, so they're going to get one shot then. But not having your Genji 2 fights in a row, I would say is bad. I think to quote Ledge Day, I really disagree with N2S's decision there to get one shot in those last 2 fights. I don't think that's the best decision there to come out from N2S, but yeah, there's not really much you can do if you're the Genji for Nyx there. Some great individual play from Altoira that's been coming back. It was very, very dampened on Circuit Royale, but it was all over Oasis. It was a signature for them winning that map. It looks like it came back in those last couple of fights. And now, 157 left, Altoira need just a tick from Kings Row, and they will take this map and advance themselves through in this tournament.
Drawable. It is drawable. We can get a push map here. We can go to 4 maps and leave Team Peps waiting for the next match. So we'll see exactly what happens here. Altoira could take a pretty quick team fight and take out N2S first again. Who knows? I wouldn't put it past Biz to be able to do that kind of stuff here.
Potentially, it's going to be a long skirmish though. When you've got this much of a time bank, you basically get 1 or 2 fights and you just can trade cooldowns if you're Altoira. Maybe look for a counter swap. N2S falls so low, but look at the sustain healing. He's full HP, no problem.
Yeah, N2S is chilling here. Nyx obviously putting a fair bit of pressure back on Altoira, and it is bleeding down their time bank quite a bit, right? You want to get a lot of value out of that first fight. Now they'll rotate through Hotel, completely taking Nyx off guard, by the way. Sides are completely swapped. Ooh. There's a great kill from Boat, though, onto Snozzler. It's traded out by Biz. Genji's off the board. Less brawling to be had here from the Junker Queens. More poke, I would say, for the Sojans. As now, Biz, in a very precarious position, has to back up a little bit, and that leaves Crimson alone to go down.
Yeah, not too bad. It was really, really dangerous after Biz had traded back onto the Genji there from Nyx onto N2S, but it was such a good position from that Sojourn for Altoira to play from as well. Unfortunately, Crimson got a little bit too over-aggressive. Nice collapse from Nyx just to take that down, and there was no front line for Biz to be able to hide behind, so they have to pull back away. Under a minute time bank left to go. The Genji falls down again. These Genjis so weak in these fights.
I feel like Altoira should have disengaged there, because this could be the last fight here. It could be very durable right now for Nyx as we're nearing a pretty close fight. But that's going to be a kill onto N2S. What a kill there from Crimson, as always, clutching up just in the nick of time. Power Drive comes in there from Nyx to see what they can get done to try and turn this one around. Beats coming out from both sides now, but it is going to favor Altoira, I would say, as they take down Boat, getting rid of that key DPS. Altoira just need to clean up the last few kills. Ooh. Biz goes down, though. They had the overclock online as well. What a crucial kill. Nyx, they could come back into things here and potentially force them out for. There's the blade. N2S just in the nick of time, clutching up. Crimson falls, and there is no way we get a draw, and we're going to map 4.
We absolutely are. We're going to be going to push if Biz is... Well, I don't think Biz is going to be able to... Yes, not quite. Nice shot to roll out from spawn, though, but N2S and I think N2S and the tank there from Nyx. Why am I forgetting names? Holy. I need to not do that. But N2S is definitely going to take the plaudits, but something I want to point out is Fish Cake there. It was Fish Cake on the Lucio. Sorry, it was not Paintbrush, but Fish Cake on that Lucio from Nyx in that final fight. That overtime wick burnt for so long, but he found 2 final blows there. 2 very, very crucial final blows. Number 1, to take out Biz on that Sojourn, who was playing from Hotel on that rotation. They had such a good spot. The Disruptor shot, I've mentioned it so much every time I've casted Overwatch 2. After someone falls in a fight, one singular Disruptor shot, one well-placed Disruptor shot from that Sojourn can absolutely end a fight, and then it could have ended the series.
Yeah.
But they got taken down by Fish Cake, and then Fish Cake once again goes again to take down the Sojourn with the overclock. Sorry, they did that second to take down the Sojourn with the overclock. Before that, I believe they managed to find a pick onto the enemy Brigitte, onto the Brigitte's Altoira in Soames there to take him down. So I've talked a little bit, and I'm really not sure how impactful these Lucios are overall, and I think so crucial, as we said, definitely more defensive, that old Brigitte role where you have to really peel and play for your ultimate, but when you get the opportunity to do that, it's 2 final blows from your Lucio, and it's the map saved from Nyx. They take the draw, and they're going to be curious to push where Nyx just keep hotting up. They're getting better and better in these neutral fights, so potentially I'm favouring Nyx as we go into this push game mode.
Yeah, and especially with this being the one, obviously, where you start out on equal footing, those neutral fights will become ever so important, especially for the first fight. I've said this since I started casting Overwatch 2, way back when, original BPL Beta Brawl. But, like, the fact that remains that push, you win a fight, and if you can snowball from there, so you have an ultimate economy, you've already got some push on the bot, and you're probably in an advantageous position compared to the opposition as well, who are coming back in. The first fight is the most crucial in push. I will maintain that position forever.
Yeah, definitely. The first couple of fights on push are so crucial. It's going to be something that is will be balanced in the future, but for now, both of these teams, I think you're just going to have to play with it as we get into the final map. I actually don't know what the final push map is.
Colosseo.
It's going to be Colosseo. Yay. I'm not the biggest fan of Colosseo. I think that New Queen Street is definitely better, but
nah, you can't do Colosseo like
no,
that, dude.
It's so snowbally. I'm not the biggest fan, but I mean, this is, I think, pretty strong for Genji and Sojourn, so more N2S Genji, if N2S is in for this map, could be a really key factor for Nyx here as they look to complete the reverse sweep.
Yep, indeed, and hey, if there's any map I would want to finish a series off on, it's Colosseo, okay? New Queen Street might be more balanced as a push map, okay? You can argue, like, the intricacies of it, and you're the colorcaster, you're the smart one, but I just love Colosseo. Come on, it's literally Rome! Like, this is the most epic map to finish off a series on, especially a 4-map banger, when this was supposed to be a first of 2.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Altoira, and we were almost sign sealing and delivering the series to Altoira in that first map, how dominant they looked, but Nyx, they crawled it back on Circle Royale, and once again, they pulled the rabbit out of the hat onto King's Row to get that miraculous draw, and now we're going into Colosseo. Momentum has slowly shifted throughout this series. Altoira really should have won that map. That's going to be a dampener on the mental. Now, how important is mental in Overwatch 2, especially in a tournament like this?
Yeah.
We don't really know. It could be a crazy factor, but if there's going to be anyone in this lobby that's going to be tilted, it is absolutely going to be the Altoira players, not the Nyx players. And in a mode like push where you cannot afford to make mistakes, you disagree? You don't think?
Altoira have had I'd say they've had their fair share of map 5s, right? They had to do a map 4 against Wisp, right? Then they had to rematch Wisp, got 3-0'd, yada yada. But Pirates and Pajamas, that 5-mapper in Contender Summer Series, that was an insane banger where Altoira, they denied a reverse sweep. If there's anyone in this match that's gonna have the great mental, it's gotta be Altoira, surely.
Okay, I mean, done your research, fair enough. Altoira, if they seem solid in clutch situations, we've seen it from them in fights, to be fair, so you have evidence to support your claim. I don't particularly mind it. It's not too bad, but I'm still favouring Nyx, particularly with N2S going in so far.
course,
Is
yeah.
unbeaten in these last 2 maps. Probably going to pull out the Genji. Snozlaw, I think, has been a little bit quieter compared, but Biz and Boat, I think, has definitely been Biz favoured on that Sojourn as well. So pretty even in the DPS. And whilst we've given a lot of praise over to Crimson, Kuffer has also been very, very good with some of these ultimates, in particular in the re-engage. I honestly don't know which way this map is going to go. I think it's going to be so close. I will make my mind up and I will choose who I think will win this map, honestly, after these first 2 fights, because that's how the push game mode works. But for now, compositions, once again, this classic Ginger Queen composition, it's not changed basically the entire series. We shall see both of these teams just going to be jostling for, I think, key cooldowns in this first fight, really trying to feel each other out and look for that go button once the commanding shout is down.
I will also apologise that I did curse the map 4 right at the start of the series. I didn't actually think it had happened, chat. I apologise for that, but either way, getting into this fight, we'll see who wins it out, of course. It usually does come out to these first kills, right? So like the Sojourn, Bode, Biz. Either one of these players getting a first kill would be excellent. There's a lot of pressure on Altoira, though, already. And actually, it's N2S, again, that undefeated player we're talking about, getting that first kill onto Snozler, taking their counterpart out, and that'll get the spot rolling.
I did Snozlaw go, I didn't even see them. They popped up just in front of N2S for a second, and they were one-shot, but no Genji, no execute potential. And that means that Altoira, well, they're going to have to fight if they want to stay and then keep control of Bob, or even neutralize it for now. Biz, though, great pick onto Paintbrush. N2S.
But Crimson going down, Snozler again. That's so unfortunate for Altoira as well, especially when Biz is pulling out a kill like that. You really should be able to win those team fights, but they just fall. Sustain's just not enough, I think. N2S and Kuffer, I feel like their synergy is pretty big here on coordinating that brawl.
Yeah, this Samurai for N2S, this Genji has been so good, been revitalized, this hero in general, from the absolute depths, I cannot say that word because of the lisp. Anyway, from the absolute sunken barrens that it was in Overwatch 1, now it's so revitalized in Overwatch 2, so important. N2S getting so many solo kills as well, being the backbone for their team there, not the Overwatch League player, but the actual spine. And speaking of, the spine is going to get dragged out from Crimson as they get forced into the team, but they still live thanks to the rally from Chef Big Dog.
Yep, good timing there from Soames, but is it enough to stop the blade from N2S? Well, it actually is. Haley's back on the board, and yeah, that was a railgun shot from Biz as well that made that happen. So big props to the shot there, not failing under pressure. And now Altoira back in control of the bot, but I mean, it's a pretty insurmountable lead here, I would say, already halfway across the map.
Yeah, nice re-engage from Altoira though. They do get a lot of percentage to Nyx, but I think slowly but surely they should get control of the push bot here and swing it into this phase. That was a great shot, by the way, that I didn't even mention from Biz, just completely sparking out N2S there on that Genji with the help of Haley as well to get that final blow. So these Lucio's popping up in the kill feed was all on Fish 8 to clutch last map, and Haley says, okay, anything you can do, I can do better. Let's see if she can pull out the Reddit Lucio for this last map. Biz forces overclocked though, but he gets instantly disengaged because of Kuffer.
Oh, Kuffer, that's some aggression. And the only person that got antied from that was actually Crimson and Chef Big Dog, both of which who got that beat from Haley. And while they have sustained commanding shout, too big there. Kuffer already in the back line, just got taken down. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, it's a really simple fight from Altoira. Slosnar goes for the blade. There is nothing that Nyx can do, and they just simply fall to it. They do not choose to invest, to commit, to draw out that fight any longer. They simply just give it. They probably are going to lose the lead in this map because of it, and they've not got nothing for the re-engage. And, well, Crimson does have the rampage, and we've seen what happens before in this series when Crimson has this ultimate.
Indeed, this could be massive, especially if you're forcing him into that small area. Obviously, Kuffer getting caught by it. Biz falls, but there is still an opportunity to kill off the Junker Queen. N2S falls as well to Haley, who comes up with that comeback kill again. If N2S is alive there, they probably follow up on a kill or two.
Yeah, nice headshot as well to take down the Genji. As we said, N2S has had great solo kill potential, has been consistently solo killing this entire series in these last couple of maps. So taking down that prime target for Nyx, that big DPS threat, basically just secures out the fight. Altoira, I think, were in a massive positional advantage. They were able to just bleed Nyx dry, even though they've got the pick. Speaking of bleed dry, I think Kuffer is about to get run out. They fall, but this sustained once again. Like, Kuffer just does not die there. I feel like he really should have.
And now the beat is here as well for Fishcake. They can let loose a sound barrier whenever they want to keep themselves alive. Kuffer can go as aggressive as they want, I would say, at this point. Obviously, using the commanding shout early on to go aggressive. There's the beat just in time to save N2S, and they follow up on the kills. Altoira bunched up in that stairway, and nothing can be done to save them, because where's the ultimates?
Yeah, great beat from Fishcake. N2S was so aggressive there. Really playing at the max limit of that Genji HP pool, but the sound barrier coming in, so good, just to keep them nice and healthy. And then it's a base HP advantage, and they run them over. But unfortunately, though, they do manage to flip the payload back. Altoira get the advantage, and this is just going to be a neutral fight. So even if Nyx win, they're just going to be able to push into Altoira's percentage.
No. Snozzler, though, the rally countered the Blade there. Good timing from Paintbrush, and good job as well to just chase down Snozzler, knowing they can't out-damage that.
Yeah, there's nothing that they can do there. It's not bad percentage. Once again, Nyx is slowly but surely taking it over, as I've now been told it's actually pronounced NOS, not N2S, so thank you for that. Okay, never mind. Biz, just goodbye, I guess.
Yep, and again, it's both that has oftentimes been getting the better end of these Sojin, like, confrontations, right? That gives Nyx so much space to play with now.
Absolutely, there's so much space to play with, and there you have options, you have time, and the experience comes in. Goodbye, Paintbrush. Once again, it's a great pick to come in as someone from the side of Altoira's one-shot. The next fight, it's someone from Nyx. To be honest, Altoira just kind of walk in and clean this up. It's a great solo pick to swing the 5v4, and then they just walk in and finish them off. Altoira are going to be so relieved they did not manage to give over the cap there. Just 3 minutes 55 left on the clock, and if Altoira, if they can just keep ping-ponging this robot here, Toasty, then they're going to end up winning this series.
Yeah, exactly, because they are still ahead. They're still at 75.78 meters. That is 4 more than Nyx, and I can do math, yep. Just barely 4 more. But yeah, Nyx, obviously, they have to come back in and try and get control of the spot, get to that checkpoint again, because if they just keep going back and forth like this, it's Altoira that win eventually in the OT. Biz now going to be using the overclock to make sure this fight goes completely in their favor. I mean, just forces Cuffit into that position. They can't walk out from that small little underpass because Biz has the overclock online.
Yeah, the overclock basically puts them in between a rock and a hard place. There was nowhere for them to run, and Altoira can just funnel in with all of the AoE sustain that they've got and simply overpower them. Now they're getting this bot further. Any push that they can get, any chance they can get to neutralize a fight win from Nyx is so good, because, hey, they might even push this bot potentially a little bit further with Crimson's Rampage online and ready to go. Nyx are going to have to fight this next one in a choke point, and well, as again, we've seen the destructive force that you can get when you're forced in a choke point against this all-important Junker Queen ult.
Yeah, the Rampage from Crimson, they're trying to line it up. Seen a couple of big opportunities so far. Seems Crimson's missing them, but there we go. Finds 3 with it. Beat-in response from Fishcake, knowing that's severe, and they come back with the kills. N2S solos the backline. No, sorry, but either way, that's just immaculate.
Okay, NOS solos your entire team, I guess. L plus ratio or whatever the kids say on Twitter nowadays. That was such a great ultimate from Crimson. Fishcakes, though, in response, kept them nice and healthy, and I guess Altoira get caught a little bit too over-aggressive, and NOS is able to just walk in the backline and, well, take down all of their sustain. He's got a Dragon Blade ready to go. This bot is slowly pushing up. Here we go, the Blade is pulled.
Yeah, Blade in, and there's no ultimates here from Altoira to really deny the value of it. Haley going down. Crimson can't really have that push and pull of this composition, that flow you would like to have. And now Nyx, they take over control, and at 2 minutes remaining, that is extremely crucial. Boat popping the overclock. Biz and Crimson back in with kills of their own, though. That disruptor shot did so much to separate off Paintbrush, and they couldn't get that Inspire line of sight.
Yeah, this is a really great, quick, clean fight win from Altoira as they managed to flip it, but honestly, Nyx are absolutely happy with that. They managed to push it past Altoira's percentage, past their distance, and now, as I said, what Altoira were looking to do 3 or 4 minutes ago, just ping-pong the objective and stall out these neutral fights, Nyx can do. 1 minute 15 left. Nyx only have to win one more team fight, really, to be able to take this series, so all the advantage, all the control, all the tempo should and probably will be dictated by Nyx in these next couple of fights.
And the longer these team fights go, the more it benefits
so
Nick's
good for
Rampage in. It's so big for Kuffer. Crimson gets the beat from Haley, but still, it fades away. Soames goes down, Biz to follow it, and it's looking dire for Altoira here. Knicks are looking insane.
Yeah, I really cannot stress enough how much NOS coming in has completely transformed the way that Knicks are playing these fights. Kuffer now is playing with so much more confidence and aggression, and when they're going in, it's NOS there to clean up the targets, or at least use the space that Kuffer is get by the attention that they are drawing. Nice little rotation fish take has to draw out, though he's so low, no Lucio. This could be a big punish, have Knicks overextended.
Biz is just completely alone on the bot though on a solo mission in the backline. This brawl's happening over here in the courtyard, but Crimson is that's the only kill they get. They find Kuffer. They'll be able to come out of spawn and try and get a recontest, but I don't know how powerful it's going to be here. Yeah, overtime gonna be proc soon. Crimson tries to go on the solo mission towards the bot. Finally, Haley comes back with a touch, but that's just gonna get cleaned up immediately. Chef Big Dog doing all they can to give the packs over rally online now for Soames. But still, Boat takes them down with that railgun, in with the Dragon Blade now, and that should be it. The overtime burns down. Knicks, in the 4-mapper first to 2 series, send Altoira down to the lower brackets.
Down they go, and Knicks will carry on. Their rampage continues, and it's thanks to some excellent play in these neutral fights, and thanks to some of the clutches. I butchered his name the whole series, but I'll finally put some respect on it. NOS, you are an absolute madman. This entire map in particular, the Dragon Blades were so clean, they were so well timed. It always felt like when I saw NOS pull Blade, I'm just thinking to myself, okay, there's nothing that Altoira can do, GG, they're out of resources. Kuffer's Junker Queen improved as the series went on. We've known Kuffer to be a crazy mechanical player on stuff like the Winston, but to pull over, and obviously not first time the Junker Queen, but still getting to grips with this new hero that has been nerfed. You've got to be so much cleaner, so much tighter with your engages now, because that commanding shout isn't as forgiving. And Kuffer exactly was that. Found so many nice re-engages in particular as well. And it was really, if I were to give an MVP, it would be Kuffer or NOS. The Junker Queen Genji, that 2-man combo was so good that even the veteran experience that Altoira had on their roster and the way that they played some of these individual mechanical fights, the way they were able to individually outplay and overpower Knicks, just was not enough in the end. It was a little bit of a macro diff, I think, for Knicks. They looked so composed. Every engage felt intentional, and it felt like they were going in off the back of something from Altoira being wasted. So you have to give credit to Knicks. They played it so well. To get the draw on King's Row was miraculous, and then to go and basically snatch it at the death from this map again as well. I think was it 2 or 3 minutes left? Maybe even under 2 minutes left on the clock. Yeah. They just managed to beat Altoira's distance. So, yeah, crazy series. My voice is dead, but well played, Knicks. Fair play.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible showing there from Knicks. Not only was that a reverse sweep in a first to 2, but it was also the amount of maps you'd need for a first to 3 reverse sweep. That's 3 in a row for Knicks that come through. Obviously the draw I'm counting as Knicks because that clutch play at the end from them basically gave them the map. Gave them the draw.
It really did feel like, honestly, that felt like a map win, and it keeps the series alive. But
just a little bit. But either way, we're going to show the schedule here, of course. We got some more banger games coming up. It's hard to believe it, but that was only our first round of games. We'll be seeing Team Peps up against GeForce coming up pretty shortly, and the casters for that will be Teku and Chicken. So I've been Toasty, joined by Jace. Thank you for coming along, and stay tuned after the break for that game.
Hello, everybody, and we're here with the Mayhem Summer Classic, lower bracket. My name is the Chicken Nugget God. I'm here with Tekujin. How you feeling, pal?
I'm doing good. It's been a minute since we casted, so I'm excited that we get a cast under these circumstances. Already the games have been awesome. In case you're just tuning in, definitely worth going back to check out. But we've currently got an absolute banger of a game coming up. It's going to be Team Peps versus G-Force.
Definitely. And Team Peps has, a lot of some of your Overwatch classics, especially if
Yeah.
you've been watching a long time. So I'm super excited to be casting this match. I didn't get to see anything from the G-Force. I don't know if their games were streamed. There is a lot of games being played right now. We can only be streaming so many, but I'm super excited for this Team Peps game. They were playing some fair last game, a little bit of the, wasn't just the Junker Queen one matchup. So I'm super excited to see, which what they're going to be playing. We are in the lower bracket. We did just come off of a great Wisp Team Peps game, and the Altoira and Knicks game also wasn't bad either. There was a draw at the very end of map
4
3.
maps.
A 4 map, yeah. Can't see, but there was 4 maps that series, so it was a little bit of a break. Should be exciting for.
Yeah, it should be good. And looking at this matchup, both teams, even though they're in lower bracket, did put up a good fight. Both coming in, taking a map off, and then losing 2. So definitely still have some fight left in them. Looking at our rosters here, Team Peps, a lot of French representation there. Speaking of which, if you want a French cast of this game, which is going to be occurring, head over to twitch.tv/castersnest. They're always looking for ways to support one another, and they're going to be covering this in French if you are a native French speaker. On the side of GeForce, got a lot of recognizable names as well. Dynasty, if you are not in the contenders scene, absolute crazy DPS player. Been on multiple teams, finding themselves on GeForce here now. I don't know about you, Chicken. I think this is going to be a real good game. I'm expecting this to go to 3 maps minimum. I say minimum because, as you just pointed out, we did have a draw in the most recent matchup. So I'm expecting this to go the distance.
Yeah, it would be pretty. It would be pretty expected. I could see that. I hope it's not a one-sided game. That would be very, very upsetting. But first map will be Oasis, so should be very interesting. I know they were playing they were having Naga on the Pharaoh last match on this map. So should be some interesting matchups. I'm super excited. What do you who do you think's gonna take this? Yeah, I know you said it was going to go to map 3. I would have to agree. I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking it have to be Team Peps, right?
I actually think GeForce are going to take first map here. I think that control is going to kind of lend itself more to their play style here. Once again, speaking of the DPS line of GeForce, I do think that they have a good understanding of how this current meta with the Junker Queen is being run. A very heavy sustain comp. A lot of people calling it the new GOATs. But the DPS still play an integral role in this comp, and I think that for control, their playstyle might eke out Team Peps, who we've seen shift away from the Junker Queen on certain maps.
Definitely, and it's kind of like that dual-edged sword. Yeah, Junker Queen is really high sustain, can like get in your face and brawl, but if you get her from a super high up angle, especially with Oasis has some maps have like, a lot of high ground.
Yeah, that's a good point. The city center, you've got the jump pad. Got to remember the jump pad, the highest of high grounds. And then gardens, of course, all about controlling that upper high ground. Not as tall as our good old bouncy pad lad over on city center, but you do bring up a good point. I didn't really consider that the high ground could potentially play a big role in how this map turns out.
Personally, I think that's like the only reason why you pick this map. No, is to throw people off with that high ground. Get Junker Queen not in that where she wants to be on those static flat maps.
Yeah, for sure. And we actually saw Team Peps, I believe, in their most recent game, playing some Winston dive actually on Watchpoint Gibraltar, which once again a very vertical map, a lot of high ground you need to control. So understandable wanting to go back to that Winston. So as we assemble our heroes here, what are we going to be seeing? It is going to be a Junker Queen on Team Peps, a Doomfist right now for GeForce. I'm not sure they're going to be sticking to that. We will see. But honestly, I don't hate it. If they do come out on the Doomfist, with the way that he's been tuned throughout these betas, he does have that ability to punch through multiple people, like kind of like Wrecking Ball, like a multiple target CC hero.
So yeah, it looks like GeForce don't want to stick with the Doomfist, but are going to go for the dual flyer comps. Ooh, with
and a
Strider
Wrecking
on the
Ball.
I like it. I kind of like it.
We also have
Very
a Mercy,
interesting.
which, I mean, makes sense a lot since we have two flyers, as you said.
Yeah.
So my question is, how exactly are Team Peps, even though they do have the high sustained Junker Queen comp, how are they going to be able to control this high ground when they technically don't have the highest ground in this matchup right now? The Pharah and the Echo are going to be flying directly above them, and look, they've already had to give up that high ground. This is a great compositional read from GeForce, deciding that the high ground doesn't really matter to them if they just play these high spam aerial heroes.
Oh yeah, and Ultima Web getting real close and personal, trying to take down this. Oh, but Naga in the backline. Oh, both supports go down for GeForce, and now Naga. Oh my lord! Doing some Genji heroics out there. They do get the pick onto the brig, but it's not going to matter much. They do get this first cap, and that was just dominance.
We've seen Canale on Team Peps actually swap heroes 3 times in the last 3 seconds here, swapping to the Ana and now finally onto the Moira. I'm assuming just so that they can be a little more self-sustaining. And look at this fast aggression here. All of that push from GeForce proving to be absolutely not in their favor. And now we're going to be seeing Strider just jump off the map. Most likely going to be changing, I would assume, unless they're just not willing to give any ult charge. But right now, this Junker Queen comp doing loads of work for Team Peps.
And yeah, with Logics on this Ashe, I love this adaptation. Getting off of the Sojourn, you know, getting that hit scam presence. But look, the art picks are already coming in. This comp is really good at, you know, holding their ground and like kind of being in a death ball, you know, soloing out a target and just melting them. It's really hard for GeForce to try and get their foothold.
And that individual that they've been soloing out every time is Madero on the Ana. They realized, you know, yeah, you have a sleep dart and you have a nade to self-sustain for a little bit, but you're not able to stop if all 5 of us go in. Every single fight has started with them being taken out, and now we're going to be see Ultima Web going in onto this Ashe. Logic's going to be trying to stay alive, but it's not enough. The pocket from Momentum is going to keep Ultima Web in this fight. And now Naga on the other side going to be finding another flyer, and now Madera going down yet again. Actually, it looks like it was a spawn camp. Ultima Web is going to be popping that barrage, getting rid of that very tanky Ben Best Junker Queen, and now this is going to be a stall coming out for the side of Team Peps. Ultima Web is still trying to do as much damage as possible. The moves on this Lucio right now, FD God, you know him, you love him. He's got to be doing so many wall rides to stay alive, and he actually gets the beat. That's absolutely huge. They've kept this point in their favor this entire time, and now the blade onto the flyers. Excuse me.
Oh my god, so close. That was so close from Naga. The Bob does come out from Logics, gets Strider on the ball, and I think that's going to be around right there. FD
God with 2?
Oh, no way. No way. That had to have been... I didn't see that person. Was that a boop? No way.
No, it wasn't.
But that was a double, which is still just as impressive. A double boop kill. Holy cow.
I love the aggression from FD God. I mean, I know from their time in Overwatch League, we know that they have this in them. They're able to play that aggressive style of Lucio, and it's working so well against this comp from GeForce because multiple times, once again, we saw them pick off a Madero. Who's going to peel for Madero? Like, you have a ball. You have 2 flyers who are trying to do their own thing. You have a Mercy trying to keep those 2 flyers alive. The Ana is really left out in the open, and FD God, even on the Lucio, is recognizing that that's essentially a green card. That's a go-ahead.
You're 100% right. And now we're going to be heading into this next round. GeForce is going to be sticking probably with the same comp, and so does Team Peps. And I think I really prefer this Peps lineup because Logic's on this Ashe is very deadly. And we're just going to be holding down on this point right now, getting our angles.
Very high. Oh my gosh. Flying into the air, Logics, and now they know that they're coming over the top. This point right now is in the favor of GeForce, but look at that again. Madero falling in Dynasty shortly after. We keep seeing this over and over again, recognizing where that Ana is positioned, recognizing they have no help from their team, and just chunking them out. Ben Best with the little swing onto Ultima Web. Always fun to swat them out of the sky there. And once again, Team Peps. I would like to point out, I think we kind of got it mixed up here. We thought Team Peps was going to come out in a non-Junker Queen comp, and
We did.
they're the ones currently playing it and dominating with it. GeForce are the ones currently running the off-meta comp, and I'm not sure that it's working right now.
Yeah, and it looks like, just a lot of poke comps trying to come in, and GeForce has this kind of hit squad, but the rest of Team Peps just run it down and kill who's ever in their way.
That was a beautiful instance of showing how Team Peps' teamwork there keeps FD God alive. He's in the street. Watch out for the cars. You need to be careful. They're in the enemy spawn. Oh, the car! No! Look both ways. He forgot. And now, I think off of that, GeForce should be able to get a swap here. That was unfortunate. Kind of got chased into Narnia there.
Yeah, just getting a little bit too aggressive, and when the kills don't come in time, it's just a ticking time bomb. They do a quick reset, and now they're almost back in with only 10% on. That was really fast actually for a reset, but they got this point aggression. Oh, Ultimate Wep has this barrage soon. Expecting a nice, juicy one if we're being real. Naga already does get one. Oh my god, Naga is going absolutely crazy on this.
Ooh, the Mercy movement. You see that? That little bounce there? They will fall for it eventually, but a nice little instance of knowing how to use that funny jump ability. This will be a swap back in favor of Team Peps. I honestly love how Ben Best is treating Junker Queen as a flyer counter. It may not feel like it, but Junker Queen is a hit scan. You might not do that much damage at long range, but she does do instant damage when she fires. So she is able to provide some form of pressure onto them. And, ooh, Logix is going to get sticky bombed by Dynasty. Dynasty falling yet again, and FD God onto Madero. Again, we've got it again. The Nano does get out onto Ultimate Wep before they fall now, and they're going to be trying to get something done with it. But that rally from Canale is going to keep the team alive, keeping them up through that Nano. And now, I don't really know how GeForce is going to be able to swap this point over. Yeah, they're going to be trying to back out right now. They're going to be trying to get one last recontest here, and Naga just does not care. Naga just goes in every time onto this Pharah, no fear.
Naga uses the duplicate onto the Junker Queen. But the beat does come out from FD God, and now this is just a sustained fight onto the point.
They don't get the ult. They don't get the dupe ult. That's so unfortunate. I mean, that's who you want to copy in this composition. Will FD God finally fall? The unkillable Lucio. No, still alive somehow. I don't know how this man keeps doing it. Going to find a kill onto Momentum as well while they're riding around. And just like that, they weren't able to flip it again.
Map 1.
It's always winnable for Team Peps, and they show on 2 maps back-to-back that they're able to keep these fights always turnable, and they take it in 2.
That was just clean.
Very clean.
Team Peps. Naga having, a great performance. Logix being super deadly, just, a constant pressure to have to deal with it. It's so hard in Overwatch 2. You don't have this. Everyone's calling it a diva crutch, I guess, an off tank, but it just makes it so much more difficult.
Yeah, that was really dominant by Team Peps. I really I don't want to criticize the team comp too much, but I do feel like Madero kept getting caught out so many times on that Ana. You got to remember, Shout isn't only for the overhealth, it's also for the speed. So you have the Lucio speed boost, you have the Junker Queen speed boost. You're able to cross a lot of distance and get onto backlines very quickly, and Madero just got bullied so many times by this just absolute amalgamation of Team Peps players running at them every single fight.
And that's where I think Logix was doing such a great job too on Team Peps, where everyone's running at the Ana on the side of for GeForce. Well, everyone's running at Logix on Team Peps, and he's just playing it super far back, trying to make time for his team to actually run up against this Ana. And once this Ana dies, you only have Mercy heals, and it's really hard to try and keep everyone topped up and get a lot of kills, especially against this comp with high sustain, high AoE heals. It's very well played, I think, from Team Peps.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what map they go to next. I believe it's Escort for our next map type. So, if they are wanting to force them off of that Junker Queen comp, Gibraltar does exist. We did see Team Peps in their most recent match did end up swapping off of that. So maybe GeForce will feel like they have a better chance against a different composition. while we wait for them to get into the next map here, it will be Gibraltar, by the way. So we will be seeing Jib, Sunset Jib, by the way, in our little picture.
Good
here.
map.
I don't know about you, Chicken. I love daytime Gibraltar. What a beautiful time to change it to. I don't know about you. I don't know how I feel about the sunset like coloring for some of these maps. Like Eichenwald is sunset now, King's Row is sunset, and meanwhile Gibraltar, like the glow up with that beautiful daytime glow.
I just like not having the sun in my eyes, personally, Teku. It's so like that when you're playing like on Gibraltar on Overwatch 1 and you're on defense. That first point, it's like Widow's just, I don't know how they do it. Like Lynx are on Gibraltar. There's that meme. Like I don't know how he does it. It's so hard to see.
I know the exact one you're talking about. It's you got to bust out the sunglasses for this one. But I am interested to see what GeForce run here. I'm assuming Team Peps will go back to that Winston dive. Sojourn and Ashe, I believe, were played by Logix in the course of that last series. So, you know, GeForce, I do want them to make some adaptations here, and I think they're fully capable of that. I mean, they've proven to be a good team in the past, and I think that maybe they just got a slow start, and this is where they build that momentum.
Definitely. I'm just excited for this match because we're not going to get to see a Junker Queen mirror. I love it. Oh my god, this is so exciting. Granted, we didn't have that last map, but you know, just like this is proof. Like we're not, this is a lot of high ground. You're gonna. Both teams were playing. I don't think both teams, but at least one team was playing Winston last map. Should be interesting. I love new Winston in Overwatch 2. I think he's like, I don't know, I love that little right click now. I think it's so.
Yeah, the railgun shot.
It's just, it makes him feel like actually like a hero, or not just like I just gotta like run up to people and tickle them.
I totally know what you mean. As we're waiting to get into the map here, I'm really interested to see what the support line for GeForce decide to do here, because Team Peps had a great ability to get onto that back line. Do we see them potentially swap to a Brig so that they can maybe whip shot people away a bit more self-sustained? Maybe the Moira, we saw them try to swap to a couple times, not really as fruitful. I do think that figuring out that support line positioning and what heroes it is exactly is going to be a key part in GeForce starting this run back here on the second map.
I think it really depends on what they want to do. If they really prefer that long range damage and healing, you might run the Ana Zen for that. So you can like heal your teammates while they're really far back, and get some high damage in.
On Gibraltar, you can run the Ana. There's so many high grounds, that like deep high grounds, really long sight lines. Ana, honestly, not a bad pick for this map. Maybe they're wanting to try and lean into their strengths here on that Ana, and that's why they've brought them here. They want to make sure that Madero is getting as much help as they can. Actually, going to be going to the Zen, just like you said. Long range sight lines, good for the spam from the Zenyatta. I can totally understand that.
Yeah, this is definitely the map for that. Especially, we're gonna be seeing GeForce have Pumi on the Pharah this time. Have Ultimate Weapon on the Tracer. Both teams running the Monkey.
Momentum on the Moira is actually interesting, but I don't hate it because Moira is able to jump. All right, never mind. Eating my words in real time. Going back to the ball and Brig Zen. That will most likely be what they run out on.
Do you think Pumi's going to go back onto the Pharah after the teleport?
I would assume so. I don't see.
Ready, though.
Look at them. I think they're going to try and break the teleporter.
Oh, they went low ground.
Oh, interesting. All right. Yeah, I mean, their presence up top just forced them to not be able to go up there. Little micro plays like that sometimes can lead to a lot. But meanwhile, Benbest is getting kind of bullied on the point. Yep, goodbye.
That was big.
Very good slam.
Killed, though.
Yeah, I mean, really good first attack there.
And there's not much they can do once Benbest goes down. They can't really contest this car. Oh my god! Naga just
the deflect. Excuse me. Naga is not normally. Naga. I was talking about it last map. No fear of just initiating with the dash. Something you don't see a lot of Genjis do. Like they usually our Genjis in Overwatch will use that dash as the kill secure. because you get the dash reset immediately. But Naga is actually using it to close distance and get triple shurikens right into the head hit boxes here. Meanwhile, FD God going to be trying to stay alive. Oh,
Strider.
the Anas in this match are just getting bullied so hard. Ben Best in no man's land right now. Very clean. GeForce, I think, looking a lot more comfortable in this matchup here.
Yeah, we didn't really mention it much, but Strider Ball aficionado doing a lot of pounding that first round. Oh, already gets K-Nail. That was clinical right there. Getting ready for this push from Team Peps, and no way he gets Naga.
Don't do it. Oh, he's going for it.
Yeah.
Naga is going to get healed up. Strider is going to have to back out here. But, I mean, yeah, just like you were saying, Strider doing so much pressure on this ball, doing a great job of actually not only forcing damage, but also, like, getting eliminations, which, you know, on ball for Overwatch 2 is easier said than done. Madera is going to take a railgun headshot from Logix. Logix going to be traded out by Pummy, and now this fight is going to be devolving a little bit. Naga does get taken out. Bob from Pummy is going to be securing that kill. No deflect left to stop it. And wait, the cart is getting moved right now. Do they know? Strider's been backcapping. He's going to drop the mines. Excuse me. They got it. They capped it.
Oh my god. That was holy cow. Strider doing everything for this team. And now, yeah, this is like a terrible position here for Peps. They have to reset here. They make sure they die pretty quickly. But there's almost 5.5 minutes going into this third point. You know, sometimes this is the jinx. You know, teams get like caught up around the second bend, but they do have both support alts coming up for this next fight. Team Peps do have the trance as well. Coming up on this blade. This should be a real crucial fight for this next couple minutes. Oh my god, an FD God already goes down.
Oh my. This is just a totally different ballgame right now with how this map is playing out. Regardless of the C9, which is just unfortunate, forced by Strider and Ultima Web, we're going to, there's a little under 5 minutes right now for point 3 of Gibraltar. The Team Peps are having to use ult right now just to try and stabilize. They will get one pick onto momentum, but Naga falling once again to Strider. A pulse bomb onto the back line! Gets both of them! So big! Ben Best with no support is going to be falling. Logix does find a pick onto Ultima Web, but at this point, this is going to be last minute stall coming out from Team Peps if they want to keep this in their favor.
And Team Peps used 3 ultimates and are still having to just barely scrape by. It looks like the spawn advantage is really good, but the Bob comes out from Pumi and already gets one. Oh, this is not looking good if you're a Peps fan. GeForce are cleaning out. Great minds from Strider.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
the mines zone everyone out. That is over 4 minutes on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Wow. Wow. And I just like I said, that next fight was so crucial with all those ultimates, and it was like you said, Team Peps used all 3 of them, and it didn't get any ults. I think Ben Best and Keenail used Trance and Primal at the same time to try and save Ben Best. Those quick, millisecond decisions are really what can really decide a fight sometimes.
What a crazy push there. That C9 on second is you need to make sure that doesn't break your mental. Like, it happens, but that 4 minute and 4 second time bank has got to be weighing heavy on Team Peps right now. GeForce just, the comp just works better here. The backline as well of GeForce did a great job of staying alive there. Once again, those long sight lines, I think, helping a whole lot for Madero, and man,
Ultima Web just pounding too.
Yeah, the pressure that they were putting on the Tracer alongside Strider, it really was a total tonal shift in who was controlling the momentum here. No pun intended. GeForce just absolutely making sure that they were always the ones in control of that pressure.
Definitely. It seems Team Peps have Ben Best on the Sigma. I don't know about this one.
So they did run this in their last game where they played Gibraltar for the offense. They do get them over to this high ground here, and okay, all right, a little bit of a
all right, never mind. Ben Best,
rock.
You can play Sigma. My bad, bro.
But my question is, What? Ooh, okay, doesn't hit the rock. I can't even finish my thoughts here. I think that they've swapped to the Sigma because of that pressure that we were just talking about from Strider and Ultima Web. They want to play a little more bunkery. Say, hey, if you want to come into our backline, all right, fine. You also have this big lad with the rocks here and gravity-defying abilities that you have to deal with. The only problem with this is, sure, you're not as diveable, but who's moving the cart?
Yeah. Oh, Zen action does get the pick in, and now, just like you said, now Naga has to push the point.
Yep.
I think this is, yeah, I think that's exactly who has to push the point. Tracer is the only one who can get in and out pretty quickly.
What do you think of this Sojourn here from Logix?
I don't know. I feel like, nah, I could see why he's on it. I feel like, you know, when you're playing Ashe, there's a lot less survivability with that as opposed to that dash. And it is kind of a worse ultimate. So I think maybe Ashe would be better, even if the low survivability, just for that Bob to contest point. But
Strider is building to this minefield at a decent pace right now, just doing as much disruption as they can, being a bit of a nuisance. They will find Naga. Excuse me, Wrecking Ball marking and eliminating a Tracer. I'm not sure if they didn't have recall or they just got bursted before they realized what was happening, but that is going to be a big pick. And once again, that cart mover, Naga on the Tracer, will be going down. The cart is going to stop. And once again, we just have this rotation battle occurring with Team Peps in server room now. And now Ultima Web is actually going to be marking Naga on the Tracer. And Kanale going down to Madera. These Zen 1v1s are actually proving to be very important in this fight. Benbest is so weak. The Ultima Web melee is actually going to find it, but once again, falling in return, FD God with a nice whip shot. This is really back and forth. The rally is actually going to get popped here. They think that this is winnable, but Madero on the comeback from spawn is going to find Logix with a nice orb to the head. This is, you know,
Naga pulls. Oh my god! I thought that was gonna stick.
This fight is still winnable on the side of Team Peps. They're really trying to force it out. The Trank is going to come out from G-Force. Madero trying to keep their team alive. And now the counter Trank, you have all of that survivability in your favor. Nothing to counter it. The Bob is going to shred the shield. FTGO tried to stay alive, but it's not enough. They will go down. Pummy is going to be taking the high ground just to try and provide some sort of overlooking positioning for this team. And they will be holding it. Wow. That was so back and forth here. And with 1 minute left, I mean, they had to use a lot of ults there. They still have a rally, but on the side of Team Peps, they're no better. The closest ult that they're to is Logix's overclock, sorry, and that's 80%.
I just want to say that whole last fight came down to Strider literally just outrunning Naga on the Tracer and just somehow living with like 2 HP.
Oh,
getting killed from Monero, and yeah. And now they just strung it along so long to just completely win this fight, and now we're still on this first point with 20 seconds left. This map feels over. This map has felt over, honestly, for a couple of minutes. But
yeah, and I mean, they're down. There's Zenyatta, that Discord orb not going to be there for them. Their ability to burst people down severely limited without them. And now all the high ground control is in favor of G-Force right now. Benbest is going to be slamming onto the high ground right now, but there's no one to follow up. They actually take quite a bit of damage here. They're trying to just stay alive at this point. And now, with no time left, they do get the touch. Ultima Web is going to be able to touch. Or wait, no, sorry. He's on the defense. I'm getting confused. Everything is so fast here. No!
oh, Logix just got off a little bit too long. Doesn't matter though. That map, I don't. Even if they think they win that take that point, I don't really think they win this map. It felt kind of hopeless. You know, might as well just reset your mental, get ready for the next one. That map felt like they were. Ooh, it looks like we know it's gonna be Hollywood. It felt like personally, you know, Peps kind of got their mental destroyed when they C9'd into a Naga double pulse bomb. After that, when you like leave 4 minutes on the clock, you're just like, just go next map.
I mean, yeah, at that point, you're just like, okay, we need to cap all 3 points, and then we need to have a stellar offense as well. Man, bunch of C9s. You love to see it. But we will be going to Hollywood next, and I'm a bit surprised that Team Peps are wanting to go to Hollywood. I know that you can run rush compositions like that Junker Queen rush, which we saw them excel on for Oasis, but it has deep sightlines as well. It works for Wrecking Ball as well. I'm hoping that they have something planned, and I'm just overanalyzing, but I'm a bit concerned about the Hollywood pick here for Team Peps.
Does ball work for Hollywood?
For second, I would say yes. I guess for third, definitely not.
What
But
about first though?
I guess when I think of Hollywood, I just immediately think of second, and that's the only point that exists in my mind. That's where pushes go to die on that map. So I think if they're able to get first, they should be fine with getting second. But I mean, that's a fair point here.
Yeah, because I don't know. I did a lot of VOD reviews on Hollywood back in my 7P days. I don't know why we always had to do that map in particular, but we did that map. And that first, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Everything I've learned about this map is kind of done now because Double Shield's gone. It's, you can just do whatever you want now these days with no tank, with on tank. So maybe, maybe ball is great. This is Strider we're talking about, probably one of the best ball players in the world.
Right? Yeah.
So if anyone can make it work, should be him. What do we think? What do we think Peps is going to run? Because we have seen them play the Junker Queen, comps and some of these other, flyer comps and monkey comps. Well, granted, that was Gibraltar. But
Yeah.
what do you think they're going to play here? Because I'm stumped.
I honestly think they'll just default back to the Junker Queen rush. I do think that first point it's really strong. You have something not really talked about with first. You're able to stall that point really well with those doorways. You have a doorway leading to that stairwell. You have a doorway leading to that mini underneath the high ground of that little bar or cantina. It's pretty easy to kind of stall out the capture on that point, and I think that we might be seeing them try and come out on that first so that they just have total point control. I don't like you brought up a good point of first point not exactly being as favored for the wrecking ball. I do think that they Strider might run into some issues if they do come out on that rush again, because although they do have the displacement, they don't really against the Junker Queen rush, the kill potential that they had against Peps's Gibraltar comp is severely hindered.
What was that? I'm sorry, I zoned out.
No worries. I think that I just worry about if they do go the Junker Queen rush, the ball is going to struggle to find those picks as easily as they did against Peps's Gibraltar comp.
Fair enough. My bad.
No worries, man. Sometimes you get down to the thick of it and the weeds and the muck and the mud of trying to analyze stuff, and you just kind of yap, and I can understand.
Yeah, I was reading. I was reading the B Live. Right as it ended, I was like, "Oh, I was supposed to be listening." So yeah, we are gonna be heading to Hollywood. Should be a good matchup. I don't know. I'm very excited. I should be. It's just I don't know. I think both these teams are so flexible with what they can play. I know. Everyone thinks when they hear Strider, they think they ball, and Naga can play the Genji and the Pharah, and mostly projectile, but like. You've seen them play the Ashe. You can see them, these guys have been playing Overwatch for like 5 years now. Like, they can play a lot of heroes. It's so exciting. It's just exciting when we're in a meta that's so, you can play more than one comp. So I'm hoping we don't see this one comp. Should be very exciting. But
I also think that when there is decidedly like this is the meta instance where, like in this case, it's everyone thinks the Junker Queen comp is the best comp right now. I think that kind of mentality also breeds a mindset of wanting to be the first team to figure out how to be the counter to it. I mean, a great example of that is when we look back to the actual GOATS era, Shanghai Dragons slowly whittling away at how GOATS was not the end all be all with that triple DPS comp. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we kind of see a similar diversification of comps as these teams continue to try and find out what makes that Junker Queen comp fall apart. Because I don't know about you, but I think every comp has its limits. And I mean, the fact that we didn't even see it on Gibraltar last map, I feel like that's a great example of its weakness. You can't control high ground.
True. Not to get too much into it, but I think that one tournament with just like you said, where Shanghai Dragons took down the Shock with that comp, I thought that was one of the most exciting tournaments ever. I still have a background on my phone of all them playing the different heroes because I thought that was just such a great story. Not only are they you're beating the meta, you're beating
exactly
you're beating a thought like this is the best.
Yeah, you're beating like expectations. You're beating something that is
Yes.
like so innate and hard believed by an entire community of like pros and casuals that like finding a counter to that is something special.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Strider's not coming out on the Zarya, by the way. Let's just assume.
I'm not even looking at that. Yeah, instantly to the ball. Dynasty. I don't think Dynasty is going to be on the
Dynasty actually does have a pretty crazy May, but no, we're going to be going back this double flyer Mercy Ana ball comp. This is, I really feel like this is a tale of two comps right now in this matchup. Team Peps, Junker Queen comp, definitely their strong suit. G-Force going to be on Wrecking Ball comps. Dynasty's going to find Naga. Naga has been so good at staying alive, but they're actually going to fall here. So unfortunate, and already down one. We're going to be seeing just how much stall that they can get out.
Yeah, Team Peps instantly run into this, high ground.
Oh, they found the Ana.
And they, oh my God, they're running. Look at this.
Yep.
This is like street violence, a gang warfare. Oh my God.
I mean, yeah. Once again, when they're on this ball comp, they recognize that the Ana is the most killable one, so they always find them first. It will be a trade 4 versus 4 right now. Logic's going to be trying to poke out these flyers, barely staying alive there, grabbing a mini. Oh, I don't know if Strider's going to be able to escape this. They actually get body blocked by Naga. Super unfortunate there.
And yeah, this is what I was kind of worried about when we were talking earlier. Like, I feel like Ball doesn't have many options on this first point. Like, yeah, you can do some crazy, like, fly over the buildings and stuff, but it's so tough. It just, I don't know. You have this high ground, or you bat left and right, and that's it. And then these, the flanks. Oh my God. Ultimate Web. This FT got out of the air and.
Woo!
But Logix,
excuse me. Thank Mr. Logix. That was crazy. I wish that we could have seen that. That's absolutely insane. Ultimate Whip is going to be using that barrage. Momentum falling to Ben Best. This is a scrappy fight here. I'm not sure that this is going to be savable here. Ultimate Whip is 61 HP. I'm not sure that they're actually, they're doing such a good job at hiding, but they are going to be seen. Naga is going to poke them out. And, I mean, at this point, I do think that Team Peps do have the favor in respawns here. They have dropped the minefield, actually, but Strider's so low. They do get healed up a little bit, but... Oh, what a stick! Excuse me?
Kobe.
That one out.
Actually, nasty. The res does come out. Oh, and we'll go through. Naga gets stuck on a corner. And Ultimate will go down. And this is just so scrappy from both sides. These DPS are doing so much work on both teams trying to carry. And oh my God, what a whip shot! But they will have this point presence. Bob isn't on the point. Isn't able to really holding the hang.
Oh, they did not. Oh, this is so bad. They actually didn't punish the Brig and the Junker Queen that were stuck in their backline. Because of that, they're able to rally and rampage out. They do get a pick onto the rally after it subsides. Canale is going to be falling on that Brigida, and now it's going to be Team Peps trying to get another ticker. They do get the second tick. Logic's back on the Soldier 76, though. We haven't seen this one in a little bit. That movement and that just constant damage is going to be playing a big role in trying to keep them in this fight. Ultimate Web Ultimate Web actually falls to their own damage. That's so unfortunate. This is so back and forth. It's going to be the supports of Team Peps trying to stay alive, stall this out. A Pulse Bomb is going to fight Canale. Oh my gosh, Dynasty with these Pulse Bombs continuing to just be an absolute menace on the Tracer. Dynasty with another. Securing that first point, and now we're going to be seeing this comp, I think, really excel. First point was going to be really tough, but the fact that they even get it, second point is going to be so tough for Team Peps to control this high ground.
Wow, I'm just at a loss for words. Just picks after picks on both sides. Just DPS going absolutely crazy. And, wow. Just wow. I'm at a loss for words. But G-Force coming in with these two big ultimates. Yeah, and here comes Ultimate. Just completely melts Ben Best right off the rip. Now this is going to be a huge advantage. The Pulse Bomb does come out and does get this Ana. He's kind of the crux of this team. Oh, but the res will come out, and now that's just massive. Now it's just a completely ult for free. Naga does go down in the end to Strider. Logix will get the trade-off.
Logix is going to be so integral to making sure that their defense on the second point is good. Their Ashe is going to play a big part. Oh, and I mean, they get taken down. That's really unfortunate. Cart is still moving right now, and I mean, this has just been so scrappy for the last 2 minutes here. Strider is going to fall. I think going a little too far with not enough support here. Madero actually finds FD God a bit of support on support violence there, and now we're going to be seeing Naga trying to steal this point away. I mean, oh, a nice little one clip. So many dinks there coming through. And now, I mean, they're doing a chicken. I don't know about you. This is pure pandemonium right now. Like, both of these teams are doing such a crazy job of finding picks at random intervals. Ultimo Web is going to find another on the Logics, recognizing who needs to be shut down, because if they don't, they're going to get shut down by them in response.
Yeah, doing a great job at getting the counter. Oh, big pulse bomb does come in. We'll get Ben Best, and now this is just insanity coming out right now. Dynasty, just all 4 DPS just feels like going absolutely bonkers this game, and you know, everyone is just kind of getting melted. But this is Overwatch 2. We're in a new era. They are pushing the cart. There's I think a little over a minute, but here comes Team Peps with the gang squad.
Madero gets a pick onto Naga on the Tracer somehow. I'm not sure if Naga just bit off more than they can chew and tried to break some damage points. Okay, bunch of ults going to be coming in here. Minefield incoming, going to be sectioning off the team. Logix actually does get a dynamite pick onto Dynasty, but Ultimate Web with that barrage is going to be melting them immediately. This does look like it's going to be G-Force with this push coming in for second. They might be able to touch, but no, they are going to be chasing this Tracer out. I'm not sure that they're going to be able to touch at this point. Yeah, just get 3 on cart. You should be able to cap this, but no, the Junker Queen. The Junker Queen is going to go for a last minute contest with the shout.
Yeah, Junker Queen would have touched no matter what. So, oh, and here comes, you know, the rally to really keep them sustained up. G-Force doing a great job at kiting it back and almost getting the pick onto Logix. Oh, but the axe comes in onto
Strider finds the pick.
Oh my god, massive. With that, now Benbest does have the rampage, sets it up immediately onto the Strider. And Strider, I think Strider's gonna get away with that. Oh,
I'm not sure they are. The slam is actually going to make sure that they're still in like LOS of the enemy team. I'm not sure that the
1
the slam...
HP.
Oh my gosh, Benbest is just trying to stay alive, but Ultima Web on the Pharah getting a 4K. Wait, Logix? Excuse me?
Doesn't matter. They already capped the second point. They already got it. Oh my god.
So scrappy. I feel like the concept of team, like these team fights, is in its most like carnal state right now. But like both teams are still finding ways to synchronize off of one another. On the side of G-Force, we have hold on. Strider's on Junker Queen for 3rd.
Strider is on the Junker Queen, and Ultimate Web has made the swap onto the Echo.
Okay.
Instantly trades out.
All right. I'm really happy to see that they make these swaps, because like we were talking about before this map even started, 3rd point was going to be very rough for that ball comp. And the Pharah, you know, as well, not exactly going to be paying huge dividends. Logic's getting a lot of pressure here from Dynasty on the Tracer. And it does look like, oh, Dynasty is just trying to stay alive. They do fall to the flail of Canale. No rhymes intended. Logix is... All right, Coach Gun, Ultimate Web. That will be a fight win in favor of Team Peps. But there should be one more fight unless something absolutely tragic happens for G-Force.
Yeah, there is 20 seconds left on the clock.
But I mean, look at the
pops the rally. I love it. Instantly get all the team, you know, really juiced up right before the fight even starts. But
yeah, they're just taking the fight out here.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to touch Deku. It's pretty far. Okay, they do get the touch, but Madero already goes down. Strider's down. Yeah, this is done.
I love that call to play aggressive. I absolutely love that. You have so many ults in your advantage in that situation. The exit from that 3rd point spawn for attackers is so tough to get through. I really like that call to just, you know, walk forward, take that aggressive space, make it nearly impossible for them to get to the point. Really good heads-up play there from Team Peps.
Definitely. And now we're going to be heading on to this second fight, and it should be, you know, pretty interesting. You know, how are G-Force going to want to play it? They've been playing these flyer comps. I guess they could really play it on defense. I don't know if they want to, but it feels like you don't have much point pressure. But
yeah, it's like once the Junker Queen comp is on the point, like it's tough.
It's really tough, but you know, you have like Strider who can kind of just ping pong on and off, especially with the 2 flyers. They can do the same. That's what I'm guessing. That's what they're gonna go with. But
where does Madero play though? Like where does Madero like find somewhere safe to both provide like healing and damage output for the team, and also not just get run over or be in obvious LOS of Logix with the Ashe? Like we'll see where Madero actually ends up posting up for this defense.
I would have
But
to guess like by the bushes in the back, maybe up by obviously by like the second floor of the cafe.
yeah,
Looks like Strider wants to get real close to do some scouting, and should be pretty once you hear it, obvious to tell that it is the comp, the Junker Queen comp, new goats, some would say.
I'm just interested to see how fast Team Peps decide to take point. Will they try and take high grounds, or will they just? Oh my lord! Logix is not normal. That okay, all right. Also onto the Mercy as well, just opening this fight open all by themselves. Naga is going to find a pick on the Dynasty as well with all that healing taken out, and I mean, wow, that we talked about this ball comp maybe not being the best on defense, but I don't think I was expecting Logix to just open that up like a can opener to a can of ravioli. Like, that was an absolutely insane 2 picks that they just got.
Yeah, and that was exactly what you needed. Logic's just coming up like he's Michael Jordan, hits the 3-pointer in your face, says let's move it, let's do it. Oh, but Ultimate Web hits the fadeaway by himself.
I'm totally down to just cast the rest of this in basketball terms. We're going to be seeing a nice little conk coming in from Ultimate Web there, trying to get FD God into a poor position, but Lucio's just so fast, able to skate on out of there. And this is where we see the ball comp start to try and control this point. Will they be able to send Strider to stop this card? No, Strider's playing in the back right now.
Yeah.
But FD God's,
oh my god,
man, FD God has been doing such a good job of just every time Strider tries to engage, a boop is ready for it. Ultimate Web is going to be finding 2, and Canale does find Dynasty with a whip shot, doing wonderful on this Brigitte right now with that flail, and the cart has kind of stalled out right now. Strider and this Pharah pocket are going to be doing the last bit of cleanup here. Who is in your backline right now? Was that Naga? Is Naga in their backline right now?
Naga, I think it's definitely Naga. He's the only one who could really kind of jump around and get
yeah, he's just... Oh, Naga is so alone right now. I'm not sure what happened there, but good on GeForce to actually punish that instead of just leaving them there. This will be surely another team fight win for them.
Strider with the slam dunk onto FD God. Gets that ball slam, but now we will be heading into this next fight. This is looking great for GeForce. Like you said, the second point is so good for their comp that all these high grounds. They have 5 ultimates, basically 6 once Dynasty gets his. Team Peps almost have that Bob and that, I think, that Rampage. I'm not exactly sure, but
a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
Ooh, wait, the B has actually been committed here, as well as a Blade going to be trying to getting Dynasty. Nope. Once again, that Blade onto the Flyers, a risky play. Sometimes it works out, but it does not in Strider yet again with the slam dunk, as you called it. A Bob is going to be committed. Logix is saying this is winnable still, and they will be finding Strider. Just Logix the Bob, and now, oh my gosh, Canale is back, and Ben Best is here with a vengeance. Oh my, Bob doing so much work in this little alleyway between the high grounds, finding 3, I believe it was. And now Logix with actually a bit of an aggressive position here. I'm not actually hating this position too much. Sure, they might be able to be jumped on here, but you are forcing them to have to deal with you here. Oh, the dupe is going to come out. Oh no, the Pharah as well, finding 2. I mean, that's so big. And now you have the dupe as well. This should be a clean win in favor of GeForce. A good recontest there. Recognizing that Logix was that far up, dealing with it immediately rather than letting him just hold that power position.
If we're gonna keep going on our basketball terms, Logix is like Steph Curry, and they just double teamed him.
Yeah, they just zoned him out. They hit him with the screen.
And it will be heading into this next fight. We are back in this neutral fight. The cart is still further away, but Team Peeps have to fight for this so hard for this high ground.
Who's on the point? Okay, they recognize it. They recognize that Naga is on the point. Naga always being in this backline here. Ultimate Web going really low, going to be dropping that barrage, and Ben Best actually staying alive with that lifesteal. Going to be so crucial for them here. Ultimate Web being down is not good for the side of GeForce. And oh my Logix! You cannot keep doing that. That is an absolutely disgusting shot onto momentum yet again. A boop coming out from Strider to just try and stall this out, but FD God finding 2, the bloodthirsty support doing a great job. That will be second point. And
my god,
Logix is just
with the 3.
Logix is activated.
Just actually sinking them right now. Just doing Just, oh my god.
Oh, look how many are still stuck in this bad spawn, too. Oh, this is so bad.
That's terrible for them. They're going to get so much free push now. They aren't even... Oh.
And they only need to push it halfway. Remember.
Yeah, they only need to get around the second corner.
Oh, this is going to be do or die for GeForce. Luckily, they do have some ultimates online, but back on side of Team Peps, the Bob, which proved to be crucial in one of the... on Team Peps' side, is once again active. FD God as well with the beat. The minefield is going to be stalling out the cart a little bit, but a nice dynamite from Logix to clear out a little bit of it, not all of it. Bob, oh, this Bob is so smart, going to be not only clearing out that minefield, but also putting pressure onto the cart. Who's going to be stopping this? Bob is just going to be chilling on the cart. Strider's the only one who can touch. They have the HP to do it, but will they have the survivability as well? Oh my gosh, Logix is just going to control the rest of this team fight. This long line of sight. That's 2. Can they get a third? Looking for momentum. A blade out from Naga. That's a third. An absolutely disgusting flick, and now it's just going to be Strider, and it's going to be Madero trying to stall this out. A Nano to try and stay alive. Full health, but will they be able to stall it out any longer? 1 ball versus 5. Tracer's back, going to be forcing the recall. This isn't over. This is somehow being stalled out. Benbest does get a beautiful shot onto Ultima Web, and now it's going to be the ball still stalling out. Strider is going to C9!
Oh, no. Oh, that's... What a match. What a match, and Team Peeps takes it. Staying in this lower bracket, but... Wow.
That was... I mean... That last map was just insane. Like, the team fights just broke down into such, like, crazy, just singular, like, moments of pop-off potential. Logix continuing to hit those shots. I mean, I know that GeForce did not end up winning that, but I cannot praise that stall on third enough. Strider, I don't know how they stayed alive that long. 1v5 for a good 10 seconds before they had any like reprieve from their teammates. An absolutely crazy showing from both teams. It will be Team Peps taking this matchup, though, on the third and final map.
Honestly, couldn't have asked for a better match to cast Tech. This is absolute banger. You know, XL players popping off. You had, you know, contenders, you know, greats like Strider and Ultima Web going like absolutely crazy. That Gibraltar map was actually pretty insane too. You know,
without a doubt.
You know, GeForce looked really good on this. Really good. Team Peps just had a couple more, you know, good maps under their belt. You know, it's sad to see one of them go out this early, but holy cow, what a match to go out on.
Yeah, and I mean, we're only just getting started. If that's the quality of matches in our first round of lower bracket, just imagine what is right around the corner on both our A and B stream. We will be taking a quick break here, and we will be hopping back in not too short a time. This was Chicken Tech here for an awesome cast, and I'm excited to see what the rest of these matches are.
Don't want to miss it. And we're back, folks, with the next game of Knicks versus the Peeps. I'm once again the Chicken Dart God, followed by the lovely Teku Jen.
I could have sworn I've been here before.
Yeah, no, we've been here before. Schedule conflicts have happened, and we're back in it. But we got some more amazing Overwatch. I'm always happy to cast the Peeps or Team Peps. Sorry, my bad.
You're thinking too much peep this right now.
This pet, yeah, we're too in the BPL mindset. Got it. We're in tier 2 now. We've made it big.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm excited for this matchup. We just watched Team Peps actually. Really good match up against GeForce that we just casted. They do end up eking it out, and now going up against Nyx, who also had a very hard fought game, going to a 4-map series against Altoira, and I'm really excited for this matchup. I think that we're going to be seeing some crazy Genji play, just knowing both of these teams as Genjis. I mean, come on.
I'm trying to. I don't have the Knicks roster at the top of my head. Give me 1 second.
So Nyx has this individual by the name of N2S, or Nos, if you will, who has been playing Genji this tournament, and I must say, absolutely insane. I've loved every minute of watching them on the Genji right now. And then on Team Peps, we've got Naga, who is doing so much work on that Genji, almost feeling like a Tracer with how much they were in the backline and staying alive. I do think that both these Genjis are going to be absolutely crazy. Looking at the rest of the roster for Nyx here, some familiar faces. Paintbrush, I mean, come on. Got to remember Paintbrush. Kuffa, Shaq, Bun, Fishcake. I mean, we've got... and I mean, how can we forget Cowman? Cowman 7-Eleven. You gotta. There's a lot of recognizable names on both of these teams, and I'm super excited to see how they match up. Because there is a lot of star power, I feel, between the two of them.
Definitely no. We were watching a little bit of the Knicks game. Boat and Nas were kind of pounding. Doing really well. That's kind of the deal with Overwatch 2. You really need good DPS players. DPS players finally feel like they're able to actually do things, and Team Peps were really making that happen last game, with Logics on that Ashe just moving mountains, honestly. Looking like LeBron out there.
We're gonna continue our basketball terminology. I see. I'm ready. I'm ready for the half court shot, or we could swap to another sport. There's plenty of sports that we can pull from. What's some cricket terminology? I don't know enough about cricket.
You're talking. You could have brought up any other sport, and you brought up cricket. God, I have no idea.
I mean, hey, it's a popular sport, but this should be a good matchup. We are going to be going to Lijiang Tower for first map. Knowing Team Peps, I'm expecting to see them on that Junker Queen rush comp. And Nyx, I'm assuming will run the same.
I think we're due for a Junker Queen matchup.
We haven't casted like a straight up mirror of it yet. Yeah, surprisingly,
I think we're due. I don't know what is the actual first map. Do we know the first map yet? No.
Lijiang.
Yeah. Because that's like where you would see like Brawl kind of comps in Overwatch 1.
Mm-hmm.
So you should probably see a lot of it, especially the inside one. I forget. I'm like totally blanking.
Control Center, Garden, and Night Market.
Garden and Night Market, you probably maybe see something else. Maybe not Night Market, but Garden.
Well, we saw GeForce in the most recent matchup against Team Peps run Pharah, and Pharah is pretty good on Lijiang outside of Control Center. So maybe we see teams try out some flyers here, but I'm assuming we'll be seeing mostly a Junker Queen rush mirror here. But only time will tell. I'm excited to get into the map here. I don't know about you, but I'm interested to see the Fishcake versus FD God matchup as well here. I think that is going to be an interesting matchup in the support line because FD God has been very aggressive, almost feeling like a third DPS in some ways. I'm excited to see if Fishcake matches that or potentially plays a little more on the defensive side, maybe recognizing that with that aggression comes punishability. So definitely going to be a fun match to watch. Anything that you're looking for in particular between these teams?
No, I'm just thinking about what you're saying. Like that. Those Lucio's. I think Lucio in Overwatch 2 is just like such a he is kind of like that third DPS in some senses, or maybe even fourth if you want to have a Junker Queen be the third. he's got to run in there with the Genji and, not really even so heal him up, but just give him a boop, give him, a couple taps in the head,
Yeah.
get him a little bit weaker just so maybe he does die in that, flick dash, or, the flick dash happened and then he gets him with the boop or a headshot at the end. Just something just to help your Genji, get in that back line and just be really disruptive. And it's hard to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. Without a doubt. I mean, and with these Junker Queen comps, displacement is really key as like a counter to it, because everyone's running together. The Lucio with the boop and the Brig with the whip shot, it does a lot to provide almost peel in a way. That split second or like half second where they're no longer walking forward, that gives you time to regroup and position more properly. And I mean, speaking of displacement, the Junker Queen knife playing a key role in pulling people out of that amalgam of players and isolating them. Once again, people keep comparing it to goats, and I think that that's just a silly way of saying it's a very cooldown oriented comp. Every cooldown matters. Whichever team is utilizing those cooldowns to the best of their abilities is going to be the team coming out on top.
Yeah, I was about to say I feel like you could say that with almost all comps, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really not it doesn't matter as many comps, but it's all about that sustain. It's just you have to it's. I feel like what a lot of people don't like about this comp is you have to play your sights really well. You have to play your because
Mhm.
it's not like the comps that we were seeing G-Force play, where you have the ball, you have the Pharah and the Echo, and they can just
Right,
maneuver
exactly.
around wherever they want, at almost any time they want. You don't have many movement based abilities. You have a 2 speed boost with the Lucio and the Junker Queen, so you could rush down vast distances, but you don't have many actual movement abilities in the sense where you can go vertical or basically just vertical really. So
Yeah. And I mean that's where the Genji I think really shines in this comp.
Mhm.
Something as simple as being able to climb a wall does play a big difference in being able to like provide some form of high ground pressure.
Yeah.
We have
the high ground pressure.
Yeah, I mean,
So
we
you
also
don't know D.Va no
obviously
more.
have like Lucio who can wall ride and Sojourn who can jump up to places with her slide, but Genji really is like your consistency in that high ground control. And Lijiang, not really a lot of high ground to control, all things considered, but Genji still has their strengths in plenty of other places.
Well, especially on this picture one in this is Night Market, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Just being able to jump the wall from this, mega health back to the courtyard is so big. Or, the wall. There's windows on the back sides from the stairs side. I think Genji just has a lot of different things you can do on this map. Same concept. Should be very interesting. I'm super excited to see Naga get back into if they do see the Junker Queen mirror. But let me hear. Let's hear some predictions, Teku. Are you gonna be map 3? I'm a map 3 Andy.
I'm a map 3 Andy as well. I'm sorry to say. I think I don't know about you, but I do feel like the counter picking in Overwatch 2 is a lot more like actually deciding than in Overwatch 1. I do think that with how we've seen different teams play with different play styles, it has led to a lot of counter picking, especially like Team Peps versus G-Force. We saw that both teams trying to pick maps to their strengths. I think that's going to potentially break down in this matchup, though, as we see potentially a mirror. So it's like, okay, we're playing the same thing. We just lost to the same thing. Do we really want to go to something that is to our strength, but then it's also to their strength as well? That's where the kind of the minute details start to matter, I think, in these kind of matchups.
And not only that, but the map selection becomes vastly more important now.
Yeah.
Because some of these maps really cater to one way of playing as opposed to other. So you really have to, think about what do we like to play, what is good for us, and how do these maps affect that, I don't think it matters so much on the first map because people, I think it's auto picked, right? Pretty sure.
It looks like okay.
Let me hear it.
I don't know about you. I love seeing teams use the Symmetra to TP out. I know you have 2 speed boosts, but like you don't really want to waste those cooldowns just getting out of spawn. Team Peps did this in their last matchup. But Nyx right now actually not going to be TPing out. I don't want to obviously like.
This is a classic test. Oh no, they're gonna do it. I was gonna say which
Yeah.
one is faster, but no,
Yep.
we're gonna
Yep.
see the TPs.
Nos realizes that the TP is very important, and because I mean, controlling this initial area is so key. Logix just finds Boat immediately. Boat is gone.
God, actually posterizes him. They are going to be heading to this cliff. Ooh, is FD God going to go for the poop? I want to see it. Oh my God, the Brig is so low, and gets a little headshot on a fish cake there. Nice play there from FD God and Naga. Naga with a clean 3K.
Yeah, I mean that was losing Boat right away is just super unfortunate. Already down a person in that fight, and you know those railgun shots, they do provide a pretty big piece of burst damage, which is so important in these high sustained comps. Losing that immediately puts you on the back foot.
Definitely. Oh, Naga is getting a lot of good headshots in this initial phase. They're coming in.
Ooh, wait a minute. Nos just says hello, hi, I'm here too, trying to focus out their counterpart.
Oh my God. Kuffa gets really in. It's getting the Omega pocket right now. I'm so shocked they didn't die. The Kuffa will get a pick in return.
Yeah, Kuffa needs to be thanking their support line there. That was absolutely insane. I know that they've got the self-heal to a degree. Nos with a casual 3K, by the way. Just, cleaning it up in style. But support line of Fish Cake and Paintbrush, even on the Lucio Brig, providing enough peel and healing. Bunch of cookies and AoE heals to keep them up.
And this is, like you said, the battle of the Genjis. Both of them already have Blade. Oh, Nas pops it. Does get one.
My.
Does get two.
They should be able to get him.
Yeah. Chunks down. That Junker Queen, and yeah.
It's actually a 3v3 right now.
Ooh,
but FD God says, you know what? Let's make it a 3v2 in our favor. I'm going to just Lucio diff my opposition here. Logix as well with a headshot onto Kuffa. It's going to be enough to keep that Naga finding the pick onto Nos as well. This will be a flip back into the favor of Peps. Pretty good re-engage, all things considered. They will be taking the lead shortly here. But so far, pretty evenly matched right now. My only concern here is looking at these ultimates now.
Peps.
Peps are so far ahead in the ultimate economy right now.
Peps have both support ults, and Logix is about to have this Sojourn ultimate. Should be very deadly. Nyx does have this, coming up on this big rally and the Rampage, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to deal with what Peps are running in. Peps are already in there.
Paintbrush popped the rally after Canal, actually making sure that they have the overhealth for longer. Canal also, by the way, getting 2. They will fight, or they will be staying alive on the point. You don't usually see the Brig as the one finishing your picks, but that is going to be what happened actually. And I mean, I don't even know if Nos gets out. Nope, Naga finding a third. It is going to be 81% in favor of Peps right now. Nyx now with all those ultimates coming online, but once again, Peps not looking too bad themselves.
This is looking like the Naga show so far, this first round of this Li Zhang. But Nyx are going around on the same rotation into the white room. Nos is jumping through the main.
A very early rampage there coming out from Peps. And now it's going to be the counter from Nyx. It is going to be a big ultimate, but who is going to be able to stay alive for longer? Benbest is going to fall to Kuffa. It looks like things are going to be playing out in the favor of Peps right now. All the damage just in their ballpark right now. We're swapping to baseball now for our sports terminology.
And Naga just hit a clean double with that blade.
I mean, wow. I do think that the ultimate economy just slow. Like after that second cap from Peps, it was all in their favor for the rest of the map.
Yeah, it's just I don't know this Genji play from Naga is just so in your face and hard to deal with.
And I love that.
It's exciting.
I love seeing aggressive Genji play. I do think that in Overwatch 2, that is going to be the style more so, at least in this comp. The spamming from like behind your 2 shields in Overwatch 1 to try and build your blade. Like those days are gone. That you have to adapt to this, and I think Naga is doing a good job with the adaptation.
And yeah, just complete aggro. And I remember it was it's just an epiphany. You just got to be aggressive. There's no diva to care for your back on. Just run in there.
Okay, maybe not that aggressive. Kuffa is somehow still alive. I don't know how they got out there. Fishcake is actually going to find FD God too, and now with respawns in their favor, they actually control this team fight. No one's on the point yet, so I do expect we will be seeing Nyx taking their stroll over to the point for a cap. Yep, they send 1 over right now, and it looks like Team Peps will abscond the point. There's your Uber word for the day.
And yeah, Nyx got really aggressive last fight, but they still somehow managed to make it work. This next fight is looking like the same. Nyx are just running it down at this backline. They got him half, and Naga will go down to Fishcake. This is actually really big here. The main source of damage is kind of gone for Peps, unless Logic's gonna do something crazy, but he will go down to Nos, and now this is looking like a solid, easy, clean fight. This is like gang warfare, this match. These comps, where they're at each other. Just street fighting.
Kuffa got so low there. Like, Kuffa, I think, was 80 health at one point, and their shout came back online, instantly giving not only them, but their teammates a good boost in health. Just good understanding of those cooldowns right now from Nyx, and they still hold the point right now. We are going to be seeing the first fight on point, actually, which is surprising considering this is the 3rd. And now, this is so dangerous for them on the backside. Be careful of the boops here. Rally's going to be coming in from both sides, and now it looks like the point presence is going to be in favor of Team Peps, but Nyx still stalling it out. Paintbrush is going to fall to a shield bash from Kanale. Now the blade from Nos with the beat. A beat encounter from the opposing team is going to be trying to keep them alive. One more swing left in them. They're not going to be able to get the Brig. Brig just too tanky with that little bit of shielding and armor she has. Naga finding 2. That is going to be a point flip in favor of Team Peps.
Damn, Naga with another bases clearing double. That was just actually crazy. Still has blade though. This is actually massive because, you know, Nyx used the beat and the blade, and, you know, Peps only really had to use that beat just to keep that sustain up. Logic's both teams almost coming up with that Sojourn ult. Then Best running it down. This is looking like the meta right now. Just run it down at your enemies. Get them before they're even aware. Oh, I think Ben Best missed.
Yeah, I think they only hit the Brig. Yeah, they hit the Brig with it. They bleed out, but honestly, not the best ult. Things are still going in their favor though, thankfully. So the ult not being massive is not going to be frowned upon too much by their teammates. They still control the point, and now, I mean, they're going to be in prime position to take the lead.
Yeah, they are at 50% and counting. Only need an extra 10%. It looks like Nyx trying to wait for Boat to get back online, respawn, waiting for a full team reset. They are starting to push. It does look like Peeps will be getting the lead at 62% and counting. And now this is just looking really like a clean fight. You know, Peps do pop this Sojourn ultimate, and it doesn't look like there's going to be much else online.
Oh, are they ready for the flank? Logix doesn't hit those shots, but their presence on the backline actually does draw a lot of attention, and with that, the front line of their team is able to punish that lapse in what's the word? Lapse in
judgment.
There you go. Yep, that's you know, words are tough. Words are tough, and you know it's tougher trying to push into a Junker Queen rush right now. Actually, a big deflect onto that nade there from the Sojourn. Yeah, that does a lot of damage. They actually got pretty close to their blade now, but it is going to be Kuffa finding their way to the point. The beat got... Oh, they used their beat. I'm not sure they needed that.
Oh, I don't know about that one from Nyx. They commit beat. You know, it is almost 99. You need to win this way, but sometimes you just don't realize. Team Peps are trying to get themselves all secured back up on point. Oh, Nos pops the blade. Oh, gets kind of juked out and now has to just play to live right now. They are holding down this point, but here comes Team Peps running it down. Oh my god. Boat has to slide out of there because Benbest is getting right in his face with the axe, and oh my god, Naga
losing your Junker Queen is so bad. Ooh, hold on a second.
Naga strikes out.
Yeah, Nos with a bit of an outplay there. Benbest with the ult. Oh, that's going to be so tough to play against. Who's going to be able to stay on this point while being bled out? They are going to let them, it looks like, potentially flip the point. Nope. All right, hold on. The ball is back for the stall. We have seen this ball be so tough to deal with these Junker Queen comps because of their survivability. Another pick going in favor of Peps. FD God finding one. Logic's finding a second. It looks like all these picks are going to be going in favor of Team Peps, who are already up one map. They just need to flip this point, and it will be over. Map 1 will be going to Team Peps.
And that was really exciting. That was pretty close. You know, it was a 2-0, but it was a lot. It felt a lot closer than that. I think it was 99-99 the first round too, right?
Yes.
Maybe wrong, or maybe 99-80, something like that.
You know what? My memory's failing me. I actually don't think they got to 99, so I will try and provide some form of some truth. But for all I know, I could be wrong. So, but
when I spend misinformation on the internet.
Yeah, very good first map. You know, this is just like the last matchup we saw with Peps. Peps take first map, relying heavily on that Junker Queen comp. Nyx did play the Junker Queen comp as well, not doing too bad, I might add. You know, just small things here and there. I mean, we talked about that beat that Nyx used in that already won fight towards the end of Night Market. You know, hypotheticals, like if you still had that, maybe you're able to survive that initial push from Peps a little longer. But with that out of the way, it looks like we will be going to Circuit Royale for our second map. What are you expecting here? Because Circuit Royale has been host to plenty of different comps here, Junker Queen Rush aside.
I haven't seen much with the Junker Queen on Circuit Royale, but if I had to guess, you know, long range is still really good on this map. You know, without Junker Queen or not, you know, there's not really much Junker we can do about a Widow. You know, 100 feet shooting her in the face. Just gonna say it. It's kind of hard to deal
and
with.
I mean, we can't discount that Logix is on Team Peps. This is a Nyx map pick. Obviously, one player does not decide what map you're going to pick, but that is something to consider. We might see Logix on those long, or not might. We definitely will see them on the long range hit scan here. Most likely an Ashe, maybe even a Widowmaker, and their Ashe has been dangerous. Is a nice way to put it.
Yes, very dangerous, as you would say. Logix has been pretty insane. I'm more interested about what the teams are going to be running on the tank line, because I feel like it's pretty easy, you know, just throw your star Genji player on Genji, throw a hit scan on Widow or Ashe, something like that. You know, pretty easy decisions to make. Supports, there's only like 5 of them. You know, you'll figure it out. It's more about the tanks. What are we playing here? Because, you know, a lot of times you see teams play the Sigma. It's probably one of the only maps you really see a lot of Sigma play. You know, you can spam at like a decent distance and has that shield. I don't know, because I remember my good friend Worstcast telling me that Sigma kind of gets run over by the Junker Queen. So maybe works out in the Junker Queen's favor, theoretically, to play the Junker Queen comps on this map. I don't really have an idea. I'm kind of thinking this out as I'm saying it. But, you know, it's going to be interesting.
Theory crafting. Some in-real-time theory crafting.
Yes.
I mean, Worse, for those of you that don't know, very smart player, tank player themselves. I do agree with you on that. Sigma kind of does get run down by the Junker Queen comp. The only caveat to that is if you're able to keep that distance between the Sigma and the death ball of the Junker Queen comp. The shield being stationary, like once you stop the shield, it's stationary. If you stop it in a bad spot, it's punishable by that rush comp. They can just walk past it, and then you have to call it back, and you can't use it for another 2 seconds. If you're able to keep your distance, it can work out. But once again, in order for the Sigma to be doing damage, they have to be like within a certain distance of the comp itself. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any Sigma, even though Sigma has been known to be played on this map, just because the Queen comp has so much speed boost potential.
Yeah, but it's like, can you outrun the headshots? That's what it comes down to. Can you outrun this, you know, small corridor with no shields? it comes down to really player. Yeah, look, exactly. Team Peeps. They have Naga on the. I love this actually.
Yeah, I love
Logic's
this
on the
comp.
Widow and then Naga on the Sojourn. You know, wouldn't mind the Ashe either, but Sojourn's just as good. Especially, I actually wish the Naga was on the Ashe and then Boat was on the Sojourn, because she gets so much she gets so much charge off of those shields. It's so easy. It's like literally just free charge. But Knicks are in the the offensive spawn, can really change up the comp whatever. I don't think we're gonna see Doomfist. It'd be interesting to see a Doomfist, but I don't think we're gonna see it.
Yeah, Kuffa's gonna swap over to that Junker Queen. I'm assuming Nos is just going for an initial shot out of spawn and then swapping back to either Genji or Sojourn. Ooh, misses the shot. That was a free pick there, but you know, it's easier said than done. I know that if I had taken that shot, I would have missed 10 times out of 10. So can't complain too much. Nas will be swapping back to that Genji after that shot. And yep, we got that Junker Queen rush on the offense. And meanwhile on the defense, we have this Sigma like long range damage comp that we were discussing. Wait a minute.
Oh my god, Naga hardly goes down. They just ran it down.
I mean, this is what we talked about.
Gang warfare.
Yeah, you can just bypass that Sigma shield and then you're on the enemy team, doing a great job of just taking all the space. Benbest actually not too bad of a stall here. They will spawn later, obviously, but I mean, you can rush them back with your Lucio. But very clean first fight in favor of Nyx.
So Nyx answers the question. You can outrun the headshot.
Yes.
You can. All right, it's good to know.
Yeah, Logix is actually also going to swap over to the Ashe, which I like here. I know that Widow does have deeper range here, but I do think that the Dynamite is so integral to like countering this comp, like countering that AoE heals, also building Bobs extremely quick. Will Benbest get run over by this comp? Look at them. They're already half health, half the pop. So many abilities. Help Benbest. The lamp is going to come out. That's right. There's a Baptiste in this matchup right now, and they're going to be trying to keep their tank alive, but it's not going to be enough. Will anyone be able to touch? No. I mean, it's just a meat grinder on that point right now.
It feels like Sigma runs into the same problem that Junker Queen does, where they both get swarmed by different angles. It just feels like when you're playing against the Sigma in the Junker Queen comp, those angles are a lot like shorter. You know what I'm saying? They're a lot closer to you, but they're still spread out. They're everywhere. They're in the trees. But
they're in the trees.
It feels like Peeps want pushing out, and I like this Ashe comp, like you said, the swap. I feel like her range is just in this. Opposed to Widow, maybe a little bit too much, but it feels like Benbest has to commit.
Oh, that Bob is going to be so dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this window is completely void now. Just the Bob is forcing you to have to position further back. The Sigma spam is not able to go as far. I mean, just absolutely corralled here. And I almost feel like we've seen this before with Team Peps. Do absolutely crazy first map and then get counterpicked on second map.
It feels like the teams see some pretty big weaknesses on Escort from Team Peeps and are going to Boat is on this great flank. Oh, he's doing the Valorant. He's waiting.
Oh no, the lurk.
Oh, he does get the lurk though.
Paintbrush gets him. Paintbrush actually comes in with the rally and says, "Yeah, I'll confirm that elimination for you." Meanwhile, we have Benbest trying to stall this out. They will be trying to just jiggle between that point. Meanwhile, we have a massive rush onto the backline while Benbest tries to stay up. It's not going to be enough. Kuffa going to be taking out too, and
Boat is still in this backline.
Boat never died. Boat just stayed there.
Boat doing a great job of just anchoring it down back there and causing mass destruction, like mass amounts of couldn't look back without having to die. So Peps immediately swaps off the BAP. I like this decision going to the Lucio Brig. This is the Junker Queen comps, both mirroring. It's what you want to see if you want to win.
And I mean, we do have a rampage here for Kuffa on the side of Nyx, and I think that you want to use this when the enemy team finally decides to go to point. Like it's just a funnel. It's a chasm. Everyone is just able to be punished so easily with that rampage, and Bob will be sent in by Logix. Look at how much space this has garnered. Nos actually gets a pick before they still get out. Still alive? No, finally falling, and that will be Peps. A nice little hold there. I feel like this is really their first hold at all.
Yeah, honestly, I think you're right. It feels like Knicks have really just been pushing it really far this whole time without much concussion. But Peps did a great job at flanking them. They went all the way around. It felt like Knicks were like trying to push on against the backliners, but there was no one there. It was just they were already on the flank. So now we're gonna be heading to this next fight. Knicks do have this Rampage and this Bob. And I think they commit the
I
Rampage
love
already.
this play. I absolutely love this play. Just taking that high ground. I mean, what are you going to do to stop that Rampage? The only thing you can do is either drop off the point or fight up top, and that fight does not go in their favor. We actually do see Logix falling off the map as well. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if that was just to quickly reset, recognizing that they can maybe get a second fight in here, because even though they are right at the end, this car moves so slow, it is going to be contestable. And Logix does find that pick. Logix doing so much to try and ensure that this is going to be going in their favor. Oh my goodness, that is such a massive pick, and just off of that one elimination, Knicks leave.
Yeah, this third point I feel like is so hard to deal with. You really, they took 2 CP out the game, but they left it in this map. They left it in this map. It's really tough to deal with this last point. They send in Bob. I love this actually. Bob does get
Bob just got bullied off the point.
Completely yeeted off the map and has to take the somehow
Excuse
still gets
me?
Logix. Logix takes the ego duel and gets completely tracked by Bob. And this point, is it gonna get kept? No, it doesn't. Naga pulls out the blade, but will go down in the end. And Boat is just absolutely just hitting the shots right now, keeping it. Here comes the blade from Nas, trying to clear out everyone left on the point. Does get a swift double, and that's a home run hit right there from Nas.
Wow. I don't know how Logix fell to the Bob there. Maybe they just lost track of where they were because of the double boop. That's honestly unfortunate. I mean, we saw that Logix getting one pick was able to quell an entire push from Knicks, and them going down, just worst case scenario.
That was actually just kind of crazy from Knicks. Really just nonstop pressure, and there wasn't really much Peeps could do about it. Felt like Kuffa is doing such a great job on this Junker Queen. Just having such a good, good rampages, just getting playing really close with the supports at all times to maximize his speed, output, this gang warfare, as I like to call it.
I do think we see Peps coming out on the Junker Queen. I recognize that it's gonna be way better on the offense than the Sigma, obviously. But my question is, if you were gonna play it on the offense, why not just play it on the defense as well? I understand that Sigma can work out really well here, just because of these long sight lines and these crazy high grounds. But we saw time and time again just getting run over by the absolute speed and momentum of Knicks.
Yeah, it felt like Sigma was not working at all on this point. I would have to agree. Maybe they just don't have much, scrim time on Escort. It feels like Escort wasn't, they weren't doing that great on Gibraltar either. They did let up that C9 on that second point, but we're in this match now, and now it looks like Logix has a quick kill on the Boat, and that's it's gonna be massive actually.
Typical Logic things. Getting a second as well, just with the primary fire. I mean, you love to see it if you are a Logix fan. If you're a Logix fan, thank Mr. Logix for good luck.
He slides out of there, but won't actually. The picks are still coming up from Knicks.
I don't think enough people typed thank Mr. Logix. I think that everyone who's watching this game in any Twitch chat just let Logix down. The people did not send a big enough spirit bomb to them.
But
jokes aside, I do think that that fight did kind of break down, just because even though Logix did get those picks, the rush once again from Knicks proving to be just really, really strong, doing a really good job understanding the positions on this map that they need to control. And Shout going to be coming out pretty early, and Nos finds Naga, another instance of these Genjis finding their counterpart.
Yeah, Naga trying to start it off, with that quick entry, but gets it turned around on him, and now it's just going to be a quick backup for Peeps. Oh my god, does this bird make it out? Wow. That's
wowie. Looking at our ultimate economy here, we do have Fishcake with that beat. Honestly, all these ults are really close to one another. Everything within 30%. That's kind of crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if we see
a classic every old scenario here. Let's hope not for our sake as casters. Knife going to be thrown in. No good. And who's going to be the first to hit that go button? It looks like it's going to be Nyx with that Dragon Blade. Nos on Nyx, going to be doing so much damage. And, you know, Genji, the blade might not be able to do, like, get 5 kills, but it does do cleave damage on all those enemies. And now, speaking of cleave damage, an axe swing from Benbest going to be trying to keep themselves alive. But Kuffa finding their brig. Once again, Nyx just controlling the streets phase.
And that was so great from Nyx too to not overcommit. They only committed the blade, like nothing else. They still have both support ults. They almost have this rampage.
Oh my!
Bob, basically, possibly maybe the best ult in the game at this point. But Peps having almost just as many ults as them. Already used the rally cry. Here comes Bob though, and it's Bob is in such a great position.
Oh, finds Canale. That's so unfortunate. Naga, wait, hold on. Naga's in here. Naga does not care. Kuffa though with 2. Nos finding Naga as well. I mean, just when you think that Team Peps finally have opened the door, Nyx just saying, no, we're still in control here.
And that went just. I'm not even really sure what happened, to be honest. It all happened so quick, but it was completely nuclear on the side of the ult economy. You know, Nyx only coming out with their brig ult, and Peps only coming out with their beat. And this is actually even more of a pivotal fight than last time, because now, if Peps loses, this is basically a map, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is definitely your last attempt at a good fight here. And Pep's actually not too bad at positioning here. Nyx have given quite a bit of space here, but look how much damage Benbest has taken. There's going to be an aggressive shout coming out from Kuffa, and now the rush is going to be coming in. Blade as well. Blade trying to do so much damage here. The nade from Logix does a good job of slowing them down, forcing them to reconsider if they really want to go in when they're so easily punishable. And now, oh my gosh, yet again, it's going to be Nos on the side of Nyx, doing so much damage on that Genji. Beautiful dash resets. Getting 3. One last fight. Not even.
Yeah, and that's map. Sheesh. Nyx doing a great job at just completely full holding them on Peps. But, you know, Peps kind of looking. I feel like we've been here before, Teku.
Yeah, no, this is almost a verbatim mirror of Peps' last match that we casted against GeForce, where the counter pick from the enemy team after going down the first map is just an absolute stomp in favor of their opposition. And now we go to a third map. Peps will be able to pick, which I'm sure that they're a fan of. But I mean, man, Nyx doing a beautiful job there on that defense.
What map did they pick last time on third map? I'm like blanking out.
Third map they picked
I
Hollywood.
looked this up.
Hollywood.
Now, I don't know if that's as good of a pick against Nyx. I felt like that was definitely more of a counter pick against GeForce with the ball not really being so hot on some of those points. So I'm very interested to see what map Peeps pick or Peps. God, I keep saying
Peps, you know, tomato. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Peps go back to Hollywood. I do think that their Hollywood was pretty strong, all things considered, even against like the great gameplay of GeForce. That map was so back and forth, but they did end up clinching it in the end. I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, hey, we've got the momentum on that map. Let's just keep it going. We know like what we need to do. We can fix mistakes from that last map. My only question to that would be, okay, you did that against a ball team and a double flyer team. How does that translate to a Junker Queen team, you know?
That's exactly, couldn't have said it better, exactly how I feel. Be interested to see what Nyx do, because Nyx are the only team to actually have gone to 4 maps, I think.
Correct,
I don't think any other team has done that. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't watched every match. But
well, obviously Altoira as well, who were the team that they went up against.
Fair enough. They did also go to 4 maps. You know, can't argue that there. But I don't think, did they pick Circuit or what's Call? Oh no way.
Coliseum was the 4th map. Push is not in this until like if it's needed.
Until you actually need it.
Yeah.
And we were saying, you know, probably the best part about Push is it's like basically impossible to draw. Like really hard to draw unless you get to that point where he's got to scratch his butt. But other than that, I'm very interested to see what they do because this is the third time I think. Yeah, this is definitely Nyx's map pick. They play this every time.
Mm-hmm.
Circuit on the second map, so this is definitely their comfort pick. So I'm interested. Is this the best of Nyx? Is this what they all they've got, or you know?
I would hope to see them transfer some of that momentum to the next map, especially considering that like the comp is fairly similar. I would assume,
Mhm.
unless they decide to like not do that. I don't know why they wouldn't. It worked very well for them. I just think that I think that you've got momentum in your favor. Continue to iterate on the mistakes that you made, patch them up, like you're a sinking ship as you're going along. Put the wooden planks against the hole as you're going, and just keep up the momentum that you have in your favor.
All right, so next map will be King's Row.
Ah, yes, King's Row, my beloved.
So we're definitely 120% in for the Junker Queen mirror. 100%.
Oh yeah,
because
I would love to see a Reinhardt. I want to see Reinhardt so bad. I'm on the pure copium that Reinhardt is somehow a counter to the Junker Queen rush. I'm a believer.
I mean, if we just want to think about it, all right, on paper, free shatter
Well, yeah. So like free shatter
can block the
on top of that,
the
like.
knight.
Yeah, on top of that, you're also a death ball, but your death ball has a shield, and if they're death balling, you have cleave on them. Like you're able to kind of mitigate some of that crazy healing. Now I'm gonna put the copium reserves away for now, so that I can stop ranting about Reinhardt, and let's just assume that no one decides to lock funny Hammerman and instead go funny Outback Lady.
I'm just saying. In theory, you make some good points. You can cleave, free shatters. You could block a lot of. They don't have a shield. We do. Shields were such a problem. We took them out of the game. Just saying.
Shout health overrated. Reinhardt shield activated.
Earth shatter. Slam inated. I really screwed that one.
Maybe workshop that one.
Yeah, we'll put that one in the drafts. But should be exciting. I'm thinking Peeps. I think Peps. I was about to say Peps. This Jesus. I think Team Peps will be able to take this out. I think this is going to be pretty good for them. This is their map pick. Yeah, they're not good on escort, whatever reason. But this is where Logic pounds. Logic's and Naga about to actually pound.
Yeah, we're actually going to be seeing a crazy comp here where Logix is actually on Doomfist. We taking some inspiration from the Houston Outlaws here. No, please don't do that to our eyes, Logix. Thankfully, still on the DPS. And hey, look at that! Who could have seen this coming?
I can't wait for Dante to be the best Junker Queen in the world.
True, that DPS mindset.
Who's attacking first? Okay, we're just gonna see a quick Widow shot. Nothing too spectacular. Maybe they swap. I think they're gonna swap to the Ashe. I think the Ashe is like kind of a good pick on this map.
Yeah, Ashe. I've been really liking the Ashe here. We've seen multiple teams run it with great success. I know that the Dynamite obviously isn't up 24/7, but having essentially a short counter to that healing and AoE is just, it opens up opportunities. It's like, okay, any healing that they're doing right now from their AoE healers is completely negated. Like that's something you can capitalize off of.
And Bob, I feel like Bob is just so
good.
So good in this Overwatch 2.
Who's not feeling too good right now? Logix. Nos just absolutely rolled them, and this attack is looking pretty in favor of Nyx right now. I'm not gonna lie, that was opened up real quick.
I'm a real. I blinked, and all of a sudden there's two picks. I can't really give you a good analysis. I'm not sure what happened. They just ran it down. They killed.
Well,
him.
I mean, once again, we see Logix get picked first. We saw that on Circuit as well. Like losing that Sojourn is really unfortunate because you lose that burst potential of the rail shot.
Definitely, especially when it's one of your star DPS. So much of this game, it comes down to just really hitting your shots. And when you don't have one of your star DPS, it's tough to do that. Oh, Fish Cake is getting super aggro. Somehow makes it alive. Makes it out with their life. And Team Peps just wants to back it up.
I mean, yeah, look how much space Nyx has forced here. Like, they've taken half of street space here, and they're not even through arches yet. Like, this is a very good. Oh, that was a beautiful knife pull coming out from Benbest. Great job, able to secure that pick. But wait a minute. Kuffa's going to be responding back and saying, hey, you're not the only Junker Queen in this match. I'm going to be doing a little bit of carrying myself. And just when you think that Team Peps have found an opening, once again, Nyx are responding just as hard.
And this is not looking good here for Peps at all. We're heading already midway through this second point with 4.5 minutes. This is going to be a crucial fight here for Peps if they want to win this. Nyx are coming in, though, with the Bob and the Blade and the Beat. And the the Brig Rally. This is going to be super. This is going to be super tough. They do already get the Brig though, and this is exactly what you need if you're a Nyx fan. This is looking like it's going to be a clean second point cap. But oh, Nas getting a little bit. Oh my God! This Logix. Is it going to get Naga?
Don't do it. Okay.
Oh, Naga will. They went the reflex.
But they capped. They capped. They capped. It doesn't matter. They still capped.
That's big. That's big for Nyx. And now
we are seeing a bit of a snowball here from Nyx. If I was a Peps enthusiast, I would be a bit worried here. I mean, third point, obviously, a great equalizer on King's Row. We've seen pushes come to die here. But I got to be honest with you. Kuffa is doing so much on this Junker Queen right now. I feel like they're actually getting a lot of value where other Junker Queen players are not right now.
Yeah, Team Peps do get a quick 2K, though.
Oh, please don't let Naga die. Ooh, okay, nice. All right, Naga is going to be able to stay alive here. Looking for maybe one more pick. No, not going to be able to get it. They do stabilize with just the Blade. That is actually so crucial. Stabilizing with just the Blade. You have 4 ults here. Now you just need to make sure that you're using them better than Nyx, because they have quite a couple ults as well.
What we would like to see is a nice ult cycle, right? Maybe we use the Rally. Yeah, we use the Rally, maybe a Rampage, and that's it. And we hopefully have to win this fight, too.
Kuffa has popped that Rampage. They've antied 3 enemies, but I mean, a Rally and a B is going to just negate any hopes of trying to get any use out of that. But Boat is going to find FD God in the middle of this team fight. Logix, ooh, finding Boat. They will fall because the positioning was a bit poor, but maybe it was worth it. Finding that counterpart in the DPS category. Benbest trying to just live out on this point, but it doesn't look like it. Once again, Nyx finding that win in the team fight. 5-player kill streak for Kuffa. Very cool. Let's see if they can make it more.
Like you said, Kuffa having a great series right now. Doing so much on this Junker Queen and just really being a shining star right now. In this forward position, ready for the Benbest. Oh my God, Benbest gets a little bit caught out. Is he going to die?
Oh, no, Naga is going to find Nos. That's so big. The Blade is absolutely canceled. I don't even know if it was going to get anything just because you had the Brig and the Junker Queen in the same spot. Bob is out, though. Bob, we've seen turn so many team fights. Boat is going to find that dynamite kill onto Naga. Benbest finding their alternate on the other side. Kuffa falling. Finally, Benbest showing that they can also do it on this new hero. They will be holding it, looks like. The Bob not getting as much value. I honestly think it would have been better to maybe send the Bob to the back of the point instead of on the front of it. Not really able to get as much LOS as they were maybe hoping. And I see a Pharah instead of a Genji.
I was looking at this like, when do we get a Pharah? Looks like Nas has made the swap onto the Pharah, trying to get these angles, but Naga says no, get out of my sky. And we'll get, oh my God, Naga's become a pitcher now and get a 1-2-3 strikeout. Oh my Lord, to end the inning.
Yeah, beautiful plays there by Naga, really doing a good job of making sure that was not going in any way in the favor of Nyx. Yeah, Nas has swapped immediately back to the Genji. That Pharah pick, I can understand wanting to swap to it, but it was not fruitful. Immediately recognizing that any hopes they had of it were not going to be useful. And already finding more value on that Genji yet again, picking Logix. Very good.
And that's so bad. And Peps instantly back up, trying to get the space ready for, oh, but he gets caught by the dynamite. Oh no, Naga. Naga tries to dash out, but clips the wall. Wait a minute, now they're fighting in this little alleyway.
It's Tiny Overwatch! Ding, 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 ding! Who are we going to see win this one? Ring your bells. Oh my gosh, it is going to be Naga falling first. And, ooh, a beat as well from Nyx. I'm not sure that they needed this at this point. It does keep them alive in Logics. Oh, missing the shots! No, Nyx! Oh, boat! Don't worry, Bob has got your back. We do have a Dynamite as well. That's potentially going to be burning out Best. Yep, they are going to be taken out by Fish Cake, and now it does look like Nyx finally. Oh, but no, as I say that, the Caster Curse, Naga finding Paintbrush, that's one less integral piece to this rush comp. And wait a minute, Logix dies immediately, as well as Naga. It's going to be Benbez trying to stall on this ball. How do you damage them? They have so much overhealth. And now, they get off the point! They get off the point! No!
Oh, Benbez went to go deal with someone in the back line, and FD got hit on the inside. Oh, the little back cubby. No. You don't want to see that. No.
Oh. They were doing such a good job of crawling that time bank back in their favor, and they just,
Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Wow. Well, we got this. Wow, we've seen everything today, huh? Have we, Checo?
That's the third C9 we've seen.
We've got it all today, huh? Well,
Man. Well, wait,
It
hold
just
on.
feel like that.
You do recognize the other two C9s we saw were from Peps as well, on Gibraltar.
oh my god, I forgot. We're against Peps.
Yeah.
Oh lord.
G-Force mined the point on second after a back cap to ensure that they got it, and then they C9'd on third again. Or not on third, they C9'd on the attack.
Team Peps needs a diva player, and I will step up to that position.
You know what? True. Hashtag chicken nugget goat. My favorite diva player.
I will be your off tank player.
Man, that's so unfortunate.
Wait a minute,
mean,
what?
They had such good stall there. Like I honestly feel like Benbest maybe left the point a little too early there on the ball. They still had plenty of health, but you know what? C'est la vie.
I
point.
see where you're coming from. You know, someone's got to deal with that backline threat. You can't let I don't think it was a Nano. I think it was the Ashe. You can't let the Ashe just be completely uncontested. It's like having Steph Curry wide open for the three. He's just gonna make it every time.
Someone has to do something. As my vocal cords continue to be fried, it looks like, oh no, Paintbrush has been isolated so quickly. That was such a good rotation from Peps, just sectioning them off. And you know what? I thought that Nyx had a fast first point take. Peps are going to be doing it even faster.
These really is, gang fights in the street of London. They really gotta watch out for that. It feels so brutal. You just run it down.
I mean, yeah, Junker Queen really is like an interesting hero in that regard, where like she needs to be kind of in the middle of everything. Like she gets that value from close range axe swings, close range damage. Naga is going to fall. You hate to see it, but like when you do that, you also are putting yourself exactly where the enemy team wants you. Like, oh my goodness, Logix. Excuse me. Meanwhile, Nos finding a second. I cannot sing enough praises of Nos right now. Their Genji has been phenomenal here, and as we watch these kills get chased down, it does look like it will be in the favor of Peps.
It looks like Logix gets a little bit too aggressive, and not many people go down on the side of Nyx. Kuffa is just being like a soldier in this front line, doing a great job at contesting and getting a lot of cleave. And there's just not much that Peps can do. As I say that, they get 2 picks.
Man, we are just cursing them over and over again. We just need to say the opposite of what we want to happen, and then it'll happen. Like
I'm not saying that I want that, but I'm just trying to say what's happening, and I'm just a little.
And then the universe says no, that's not what's happening. You know what? Boat getting picked there is actually not great. They will be able to recontest, but with how close they are to Bob is such a good stall utility in this comp, and honestly a really good source of damage. You want them to be here. They only just respawned, and so it looks like, I'm assuming they're going to go for a last-minute stall here. They will have plenty of ults here. Peps with plenty of their own, but yep, it's going to be a rally on the side of Team Peps. Nyx is going to be going in themselves as well, and Boat on that revenge tour, Naga falling, saying, hey, I can do that too. We're going to see Team Peps backing out, but no, the chase is still coming. Are we going to see Nyx keep continuing forward? No.
They're
And I
going
like
to.
this from Peps. They're not getting completely out. They just want
It's like
to
a stalemate.
Yeah, they just want to kite the ults a little bit, get away from Bob, give themselves enough time for Naga to come back, but not get too far away. And now that Naga's back, they should be aggressing. And Logic
Logic's got
goes
shut down.
Oh,
They used
no.
their ult and got shut down immediately. You hate to see that. That's an ult that you're not going to be getting back. And now, oh, the Ajax! Naga with the Ajax on the fish cake. You hate to see it. That's so crucial. Oh my gosh, we've seen so many support ults in this comp prove to be so crucial to countering both the Junker Queen and the damage. But it doesn't even look like that's going to be enough. Even with that Ajax, they still win it.
No way. Oh, if I'm Naga, I'm pretty upset right now. But I don't know how they're losing. But Naga will get sliced down. And yeah, that's just going to be a clean team reset. And
Someone typing from the top ropes. You love to see it. We have a bit of a Lucio 1v1. Honestly, some of my favorite supportal combat is Lucio v Lucio. It's so fun. But things have kind of stalled out here in Streets Faves for Peps. I mean, what do they got to do here to get this going back in their favor? Get the engine running.
I don't even know. You need Naga you need the supports, the DPS of Peps to be getting clutch. They keep getting picked
Lucio.
so quick. But FD God getting fish cake is so massive. Oh my God, Naga. No, Nail gets done by Nas, and Naga almost
How
goes
is
down.
Nas alive?
Oh.
Nas was just chased by the Lucio and Genji of Team Peps and still got out. And oh my, they're gonna win this fight. They're gonna win this fight. It doesn't even matter. They still win the fight. The absolute crazy survivability of Nas and the peel from their team in that hallway was able to just stall them out. And meanwhile, the front line was just falling apart for Peps.
And this is looking really tough here for Peps. They're all the way at the end, so it's going to be such a long time for them to really get back to fight. I think they have 2, maybe 3 fights at most left. If they don't get this, they really need to. They have no ults either. They're coming up on Naga's blade, but Knicks have the Bob. They have the blade. Yeah, they're already blading now. Ooh, will Nas get anything? Has to use the deflect, but forces them back. And this is just a time game.
Genji Blade just continues to be a go away button. People just walk out. They are able to kite it. It does buy them some time though, and I mean time is starting to play a key factor into this. Taking a lot of damage there, Ben Best. Want to be careful as well. You're on fire. Need to be careful. Bob is out as well. I'm not sure where they went. They're actually,
I don't know where
yeah, Peps is actually going to be rotating all the way around to the other side. The blade is going to be committed. Will they be able to find anyone? No! Kuffa shuts them down!
Kuffa having a great series.
Man. I mean, Kuffa. I mean, how much more can we say about this guy? Boat as well with a nice little 2K. 3K make it. How much? I mean, we're entering last fight territory. This is going to be so dangerous. There's ults to use, but there's a rampage on the side of Nyx. You have a beat for it, but once that subsides, you're still antied. That ultimate lasts so long.
Logix is going to have some insane Sojourn ultimate right here. Going to really need to click the heads on the railgun. Trying to get this flank position. Oh, and here the rampage is coming in early, and this is a great play for Nick, trying to get them off guard while they're still setting up. And it looks like Ben Best is about to die.
He's so low.
Yeah, he's gonna die. And this is looking like map here, Teku. This is looking like Nyx is gonna take it.
They engage at the perfect time, making it such an awkward moment for them. They know that if they fight and win, that the enemy team is just going to be on the back foot with trying to touch. And as overtime ticks away, Nyx with just a beautiful engagement is going to take it from Team Peps. 2-1 in their favor. Kings Row going to be their final victory here, moving on in the bracket.
And that was just exciting. That was really close. Could have went either way. Team Peps do get kind of stalled out on that second point. They don't look as good on these escort hybrid maps, supposed to, you know, some of these control maps. But wow, really making it interesting and exciting.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great series yet again. Team Peps, even though they are out, made sure to give us some banger matches along the way, even in their last moments. A round of applause to them. They did a good job, but Nyx will be continuing on into this series. Man, I sung praises of it. I will continue. Nos on that Genji did so much, and Kuffa on that Junker Queen, I really feel like Kuffa has figured out something on that Junker Queen, getting a lot more value, I think, than some of their counterparts on enemy teams. I think that they're hitting a bit more of their shots, and even though they don't do crazy damage at mid to long range, hitting those extra shots does ultimately like give you an advantage in some of those team fights.
All right. Well, with that, Knicks will keep it going on in this lower bracket. I don't know who they're playing next. They will be playing Wisp next.
Oh, that's going to be a good match.
Banger matchup. Seems that if we look up at our upper bracket, Odyssey have gone down to Redbirds in this upper finals, and they will be in the lower finals. And now this is we're getting to the end of it here, Teku.
Yep. And I mean, once again, even like lower bracket games are this close and crazy, I just the level of competition and pop off moments is just going to continue to rise with each new game. I mean, we're going to be hopping over, it looks like, to the lower semifinals here next. So we're going to go ahead and throw to a quick break here. Once again, this was myself, Teku, and Chicken casting this game for you. Excited to see what the rest of these series have to unfold.
Thank you, Zaxby's.